PUBG Mobile version 2.7 will be available soon. Let's take a look at all the new content. The long-awaited Dragon Ball Super collaboration is officially here. We'll be bringing you 2 new game modes for this collaboration: Dragon Ball Super themed mode and Battle Royale Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super themed mode will be available in Erangel, Livik, and Sanhok. In this mode, we've incorporated Dragon Ball elements into the classic Battle Royale gameplay. All players will embark on a journey to find the Dragon Balls to summon Shenron. Collect the Dragon Balls scattered throughout the map. The team that gathers all 7 will be able to summon Shenron at the Shenron altar and make a wish to obtain powerful buffs. Maybe if you're super lucky, you'll get 3 wishes at once. During the journey of collecting the Dragon Balls, players will obtain a type of energy called Ki during the game. Players can use Ki to unleash famous Dragon Ball moves. Players can obtain the Kamehameha by picking it up. It equips to the pistol slot. After charging, it will release a continuous high-damage beam. Fukujutsu is another skill that can be picked up during a match. Players can use this skill to fly freely in the air and make quick tactical maneuvers. The Senzu Bean is a new recovery item that is incredibly effective. The Dragon Radar can display the location of Dragon Balls that haven't already been claimed by other players. It can help you collect the Dragon Balls more quickly. The Air Car can carry up to 3 players. It's easy to put away and has better performance than regular vehicles. Tenkaichi Budokai, Kame House, Korin Tower, Dragon Ball Village. These are some famous landmarks that will appear in the game. Call your friends and explore with them now. The collaboration this time even has a hidden challenge, named Dragon Ball Trial. Win consecutively in the themed mode for a chance to take on the challenge. After accepting the missions, the team has to follow the instructions and gather 7 Dragon Balls. During the process, your team's location will be exposed to other players. All players will be drawn into battle for the Dragon Balls. To win the game, the trial team must successfully secure the Dragon Balls, defend the altar, and then summon Shenron. Are you ready for the challenge? In this standalone mode, named Battle Royale Dragon Ball Super, players can roleplay as iconic Dragon Ball characters. Use powerful, unique moves in a brand new anime-style map, and become the ultimate victor. There are 5 Dragon Ball characters in this mode. They are Son Goku, Vegeta, Ultimate Gohan, Piccolo, and Frieza. Select your favorite fighter. Master their skills to suppress your enemies and achieve victory in intense battles. In the new version, the new Ace 32 firearm will be made available on all maps. It uses 7.62mm ammo and has 6 attachment slots. What are you waiting for? Go try it out now. Furthermore, this update also includes a firearm attribute tag display. Newer players can go to their backpack to look at the tags of a firearm they've picked up to quickly grasp its characteristics. The new Cycle 5 Season 13 begins on July 18th. Be sure to stay tuned for the new season rewards. That's a wrap for the main new content of the upcoming version. For more information, be sure to follow our official PUBG Mobile community. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See you next time.
They won't need to move out of their comfort spot unless...
Get ready, South Asia.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PMPL SA 2023. My name is Frizz, and today again is going to join Ahana on the desk. Ahana, these days have been amazing. Even yesterday was a fun day. Not the perfect result or not the appropriate result that I think you were thinking, because you did not get any of the predictions. But it's okay. It's okay. I do hope today is a better team for all the Mongolian teams as well as you.
Hopefully. Well, I did go for the Nepali team as well at one point of time, but that didn't work out either for me. So I guess the Cinderella run is not going good for me. But yeah, hopefully today will be a better day for me and for 4MB because they've lost their lead. They better get back up there.
4MB is a team that really needs to just chill out, maybe play like they were playing before and not maybe experiment anything. Yeah, well, don't know much about how will 4MB play today. The only thing is we can expect a great performance from their side. That's the only thing that we can do. So that's something we'll figure out if it happens today or not. But if we talk about the overall schedule today, I hope we have 3 Erangels, because that's what I think is left for the entire day. So that is something we'll be looking forward to. But yeah, already halfway through the tournament, week number 2, day number 3 is already been done yesterday. Now it's day number 4 for the entire week. Saturday, fun day. It'll be a very important day, especially for the teams who are on the bottom 4. And except for that, yeah, the other teams, well, they'll have to perform good.
Absolutely. Teams do gotta pick their pace back up, not only to get the positions on the overall leaderboard, but also to make sure that they make it into the top 12 so that they're able to navigate into the bonus match, which is gonna happen, because that's gonna be super important. That one extra match can give you literally 20 points, considering it's on Livik, and it could be anybody's day on that particular match. So you can literally just change things around by getting a chicken on that one. But yeah, in the meanwhile, there is a lot of money that's on the line, which I really hope becomes a motivator for these teams.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be a thing to look out for, and $80,000 is a lot. It's definitely a lot. It will be distributed amongst all these 20 teams, so nobody will be going out empty-handed. But there's an extra prize for the MVP too, so you'll have to also keep that into your mind. And also, we have another fun segment going on with the tournament. That is, it'll be the battle between all these teams. The team deathmatch is where these teams are battling it out. We've already seen some cool games. There's a prize pool for that, if you did not know. $700 for the team coming out first, $300 for the team on second. And it is a fun tournament. Yesterday we did see again another team just getting a comeback done, and DRS were not able to beat their opponents. So was a fun game. We'll also have a look at the recap of that particular bracket, I'd say. So this is how the game has been going. Round 1, we are already through round number 1. Yesterday we did see the game between Raw Esports and DRS, where Raw was just able to mount that comeback, win against the players of Team DRS Gaming in the last few seconds.
Exactly, and today we are going to be witnessing NBeSports against stronger FAKELOVE. Both these teams have been pretty good in the first week. Second week hasn't gone just as well for these two teams. So we'll find out. We'll find out if they're going to be able to find their grounding in this particular one, because soon enough we might be losing a couple of players, a couple of teams, one after the other. Soon we're going to be left with just top 8.
Yeah, that's true. Round 3, semi-finals, it all will just flow in just this particular way, and we'll see how these teams perform. But if we talk about the main PMPL league right now, so we'll have a look at the overall rankings as well. We'll have a look at how these teams stand. So Stalwart Esports right on top. We were seeing Team 4MB very much in that particular spot. But it's yesterday where Team Stalwart Esports were able to make sort of a comeback happen for themselves in the entire tournament, and they've been playing pretty good in this week too. So that has also favored them a lot, and we can see them on the top spot over here.
Exactly. Not only are they having the top spot to themselves, they have the most number of chicken dinners out there. Like nobody has 4 chicken dinners other than them. They have mounted their placement points with that help. But other than that, they do have a great leap in the elimination points as well. However, 4MV still has the most elimination points on the whole board.
Oh, that's true. I mean, that is something that is with them. But at the end of the day, if you do not stand up on top with the aggregate, that's where you'll face the problem. So maybe if we talk about the other teams, the ones under, I'd say, the red flag, IHC, ASL, Bad Intention, JMEX, all these 4 teams are yet to perform in a good fashion. I mean, yes, IHC has 3 chickens, but still are down below. That's only because they've been playing very inconsistent. The games that they get chicken are also not the ones where they're able to get 10-15 frags. Low scoring chicken dinners is what they've been able to get. And overall, if you do not perform in the other games except for the ones you played, I mean, expecting a good day or expecting a good position in the overall ranking wouldn't matter. So you really need to be consistent even if you're getting chicken dinner, because you even see IAWO, no chickens to their name, but at least they're in top 16, if not top 12.
Exactly. I mean, IAWO definitely, picked themselves back up right in time. Similar things we saw happen for a lot of other teams. But yeah, the story for our bottom 4 has been sad. And if these teams do not find their grounding soon enough, I think they are not going to be able to make it into the finals at all.
But if you look at the statistics over here between SKYLIGHTZ and 4MV, look at this. The damage dealt is still in the favor of 4MV. Received does not really matter, but eliminations is again another number that is in their favor. Knocks as well, but the overall points is where 4MV has been trailing a little bit, just by 1 single point. But then this shows DRS Gaming has also been focusing on the position points that they're able to achieve, and that is something 4MV has missing for themselves. So they really need to fix this little thing. 4MV, just a bad week. Let's just put it like that. Just a bad week. But still, there are 2 more days. So if you think you're not able to come back into the week, at least in these 2 days, try to acquire somewhere around like 40 points. 20 points a day should not be a problem, considering you'll play 4 games bare minimum every day. Plus Sunday you'll play an extra game. You've made enough of a cushion for yourself, so you're in top 12. So that should not be a problem for you playing the bonus game. You'll be playing the bonus game. You will have that extra match for yourself. Try getting 40-45 points around that particular mark, so that at least in week number 3, when you finally decide to, okay, yeah, now this is our week, we've finally got the mental reset that we needed, this is our week, you are able to mount a comeback. And it's not like a very big lead that right now Team Stalwarts has. Like they have a lead of I think 22 points from SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, and that will be 23 when it gets compared to 4MV. Still a manageable lead, but you'll have to keep it this way even if you're not able to perform to the mark that you set in week number 1.
Exactly. I feel like for 4MV, I don't even want them to go ahead and grab chickens or anything. Even if this team is able to manage 8 points a game, which I think is not a big challenge for a team like 4MV. They are outperforming almost everyone when it comes to elimination points. Even if they're able to deal with 2 squads, that's more than enough. 8 points a game, you can get eliminated with no placement points at all after that. Just take care of 2 squads and you'll be good to go, because if that is done consistently by this team, they will literally have 56 points to their favor, and that's going to be more than enough to topple Stalwart and still continue the run. Because even though Stalwart has been able to topple them, it was only 2 great games that they got yesterday. Other than that, every single time we did see them getting eliminated with 2 or 4 points, which wasn't a very good consistency, to be very honest. But yeah, they have managed the first position, and I'm not going to take anything away from that.
Yeah, but finally, I'm super happy to see 3 Erangels. Don't know why I'm just Sam. I just love when I see all these 3 maps being Erangel and only 1 Miramar all on the board.
I want 3 Sanhoks.
That is not possible, just like you beating me in any of these games and in the prediction game. But it's okay. You can hope. You can certainly hope for things. But yeah, Miramar, Group D will be sitting it out. I'd say a good day for Group D, right? For all the teams in Group D, they don't even play the very high-steam map unless and until they like that map. Then it would be such a good day for them. But yeah, for me as a viewer, I just love Erangel. Miramar, yeah, not so much. But yeah, we'll start off with Erangel, finish off with Sanhok, In between, we'll have one Miramar, and the other two will be Erangel. Plus that arena game as usual on the after the third game. So it's a good day. I just would love for the first match to begin as soon as possible, because Erangel is what I would want to see these teams perform.
Absolutely, and I think this day again provides an opportunity for 4MB, to be very honest. You did mention that Group D will be sitting out onto the matches of Miramar, but Group A will be sitting out on the match of Sanhok. Now, even though Sanhok is one very fun map to play on, when it comes to strategizing and working according to that, it does not really work. And for a team like 4MB, completely depending on luck is something that they do not prefer.
Yeah.
And none of their Sanhoks has gone really good. So I think they have the best opportunity right now. They have acquired a chicken on Miramar. They have acquired a chicken on Erangel. And I'm not saying that that has been consistent. It was just one single day when they got chickens and then they never did again.
Yeah.
But even if you don't aim for chicken, these are the maps where you can actually stick to your strategies and move forward with that. So I guess they will have a great opportunity to skip the Sanhok and go ahead and just make sure that they're able to consistently get 8 points a match. That's going to be more than enough for today, I guess.
Okay, all these predictions, all these things will just be taken into consideration over here. Sanhok, there's an interesting. I just saw a video. One of the competitive players from North America. He was explaining how their team at least approaches the map of Sanhok. So they just know that they cannot really depend on the zones. So what they do is they'll drop in their usual drop spot. We did not mention that because I think they were practicing a new drop spot overall. So what he told was that let's just drop in a new in our usual drop spot. Gather as many weapons as possible as quickly as possible. Just get your initial loot enough for just one single fight, and then hunt for that first fight. You'll probably find it in the very nearby city that you are. You'll find a team. You go and take that battle as soon as the game starts, as soon as you're done with your looting, as soon as you're able to reset. This has to be done within 3 or 4 minutes, because the moment you start hitting your opponent in that particular moment, the third party chances are very low, considering the other teams will still be looting, and even if they hear those shots, they'll be like, yeah, we're not interested in this fight, we'll focus on our loot first. The team who's getting fired upon in that major city will have very less idea about how to counter a team which is coming outside of a city, because you're completely distributed amongst that particular city. You try to loot all the nooks and crannies. You try to get one knock, and even if that's not possible, even if you see all the 4 players are sticking together, just try and take that fight. If you're able to cleanly win it out, find another one. Get 8 points for you as soon as the game starts. That was his objective. In the first 7 to 8 minutes, take 2 fights, try to get 8 frags, or just get eliminated. This is for the teams on top, because his team usually stayed on the top 5 charts. So that was his approach in one single tournament for the map of Sanhok. They were like, we knew this these zones are just going haywire. We will just follow this simple strat. Played 4 Sanhok maps, were able to get 12 frags in the first game, and essentially in the 4th game they were able to get the chicken dinner too. So they averaged out the entire, the bad thing that usually happen on the map of Sanhok. So would love to see a strat like that, man. Just go aggressive in the very early stages for all the top 5 teams. Try to get frags, and even if you do not, Sanhok can be a map where you get 0 points and get eliminated. No one will complain about that.
That's true. Let's see if our teams are gonna be doing that. But Sanhok is gonna be a late story for now. We will be walking right into Erangel. And this time, the plane path has gone from between Severny and Stalwart all the way towards a little bit north of Quarry, crossing over from Gatka. Now, this is gonna be a lot of time before 4MB even takes their drop. But in the meanwhile, BIT CMF have already gone towards Stolber. T2K is gonna stick to their usual drop of Severny. And we might see Skylight. Wait a second. SKYLIGHTZ is going towards Yasnaya. Okay, cool. Makes sense.
Early drops. Do we see some changes, though, is my question over here. So 4MV, they should go to military base. They did not have any sort of battles in military base, so they should easily be able to drop there. Probably will try to take a vehicle somewhere around Ferry Pier, I believe, and maybe somewhere around the bridge, and then try to get inside the zone. That's a very good way to just try and take early zone control or early drop area control. So yeah, let's see. 4MV slowly and steadily dropping in. IEW got towards Georgia City. This time around, they wouldn't face any battle. Plus, the zone is also with them. So it's a cool zone for the players of Team IHC. It's a cool zone for the players of Team IEWO. But yeah, for 4MV, they're just gliding out of the zone. They'll have to loot. They'll have to move in. What they usually do is survive through the first circle. After that, start their rotation. No problem in that too, because you can just chill out in situations like these, because they know nobody is bridge camping them, so they do not need to like hurry about anything else. So yeah, 4MV should be cool. STFL, JMEX, they might have a little bit of a scuffle between them, but I don't think so either of these teams would like to have that early battle. So they'll also probably get the loot as soon as possible, rotate inside the zone.
Well, let's see how that works out. This time, Zarki is completely empty, so that's gonna be one area that people can be completely, carefree about. It's not gonna bother them much. But yeah, BITX, how far they've spread out. Can you see all the way from Stalwart to Kamishki? They have their area control. Mabetex, however, is gonna be super concentrated on to the east of Yasnaya. Now this is not a really it this is not really a city in itself. It's slightly wavered from Yasnaya. So I don't know if Mapex is going to have the best opportunity at the loots, but hopefully they'll just pick up vehicles and start rotating soon enough. And yeah, Mansion could be someplace they can hit. And NBeSports, I think they are moving towards prison as well, probably towards Lipovka all the way, and that should be something that NB is able to capitalize on.
Yeah, so early drops. Not surprised to see no more drop clashes over here, because teams have already figured out where each of them just go and are respecting themselves according to it. So easy drop coming in. I think Leo has a fair bit of an idea about where IC is from Stalwart Esports, but yeah, Slipknot won't be able to knock him down, because IC is very good with his own rotation. Has already looted him for himself. Plus, I do see good gear for Leo. I do this early in the game. I'd say what 3 minutes, 4 minutes into the game, Leo has enough gear to fight it out against one of these teams. But yeah, Stalwart too, just looting these small little compounds, making sure that they do not leave any player behind too. Just picking up Nirzed IC, will be rotating towards the Giorgio Pole Hill. Okay, do they have enough supplies right now to hold Giorgio Pole Hill is my question. No nades available for IC, just one molly. Does have one first aid too, but okay, usually when you try to hold Giorgio Pole this early on, you get third party from multiple different angles. I just hope that's not the case with the players of Stalwart this time around.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. We'll find out soon enough. But yeah, Zarki finally gets acquired by IAWO. They have found their loot in the place and are coming back towards Jojopol. In the meanwhile, I can see T2K trying to rotate early into the circle. They're slightly away, just slightly. It's not even much of a distance, but they're trying to be as quick to their rotation as possible, because they do realize slight area of the circle is still in water, and that means that the land real estate is going to be slightly lesser than expected, and they're trying to move in towards the hospital area nonetheless, trying to stay in the center of the circle. But yeah, in the meanwhile, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming still trying to find the best weapons, and I think it's a good enough loot for Mafia Ninja. There's a DBS, there's good amount of medicals, there's good amount of smokes as well. However, I think a few more frag grenades would be good, and I think that's what the hunt is for.
Hmm. Skylights Gaming. Jasna Poliana, 1300 meters to get inside the zone. Let's just wrap up the loot, boys. Let's just rotate inside the zone. Try to find a good spot for yourself. Hospital currently with the players of Team IHC. I mean, if they want to, I don't think so, because they already looted Georgia Pole City. Georgia Pole, even I think containers somewhere around where Godless was hovering. Already has the loot, man. 4 nades, 4 smokes, enough number of boosters and healings to mini 14 Scaril. The only thing I think Godless would be looking for is an M4. That's about it. As soon as he gets an M4, he's set for game. He's just set for the entire game. Would love to take those fights too. So IHC is in a good spot in terms of loot, in terms of zone too. So IHC, the only fight I believe they'll get is if they try to acquire Georgia Pole Hill, but that's about it. Anyway, new to them, I do not see any other team, interested to take some space around them. So that's about it. Stalwart Esports, though, they might see some early action where the players of Leo are trying to rotate, but IC knows just giving those shots wouldn't help you a lot. You'll just give away your own position. Whereas Leo, they had also a similar idea to what Team Stalwart had. They also wanted to drop towards the, not drop, but rotate towards the Georgia Pole Hill area. But as soon as they see Stalwart Esports, as soon as they see some vehicles parked up top, they're like, yeah, man, we'll just we'll just find a different spot for us and maybe go and fight against the players of STFL. Okay, now that would be a bold move.
Well, the bold moves do gotta come back with rewards. If you don't be cautious about anything brave that you're doing, then we would go back to yesterday and have to tell you that difference, that slight difference between bravery and stupidity, which I
Yeah.
have recently learned from Fritz himself. Like we
Hmm.
had a good 5 hour sesh after yesterday's casting for realizing the difference between the two, isn't it, Fritz?
Yeah, that's for sure. I love explaining things, huh? I just love explaining things. But yeah, well, let's see. Early battle is what I'm looking forward to. And Leo, for now, they're not the ones to be spectating. I think because they've already started holding compounds, even though Noah does not have a vest for himself. Now, not having a helmet works for some times because you know that the vest will soak in most of the damage and most of these are body shots instead. But
Yep.
not having a vest is definitely a big problem because I guess what even level one vest soaks about 50% on the damage. I do not exactly know the number, but having a vest is far more important. Don't know why Noah does not have one, and if he does not, Leo, let's focus upon loot a little bit then. Let's try and take compounds which are near to you. You went for the Gutka split. You already saw the players of Team Stalwart hovering around there, so you were not able to properly loot for yourself. Because I just say no to agreeing that Liquid just has a Bison and that is a weapon of his choice. I don't think Bison would be a weapon of anyone's choice. It's a pea shooter, especially in the mid range. It does not do
Mm-hmm.
damage. You need what 10-15 bullets to connect on the body to get a knock. That time your entire team will get eliminated. So
Yep.
Bison is definitely not a weapon that you will have by choice. It's just you're forced to use that weapon. So well, let's see if Leo with such broken weaponry are they still able to do something about it? Are they able to just run in the game for a very long period of time or not? Meanwhile, the circle's close again has already formed. It's gone a little bit towards the southern side and 4MB yet to rotate, but we'll find this a little bit comforting.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out if 4MV is gonna be able to find their spot or even find the points that they're looking for. Because right now, considering they're late to the circle, which I do understand, late rotation was something that they needed to wait for, considering they were all the way onto the military base, and one and only point of rotation was gonna be the military base bridge.
Hmm.
I still feel like being late to the circle is not going to be a very beneficial situation because again, for a team which needs 8 points every game, you have to be one that starts fights before the other team can be ready for one. Late rotation is going to force you to find other teams by the time they have already prepared. But well, in the meanwhile, the one who had prepared for the war are going to be IHC taking care of IHWO. One player already completely finished, and in the meanwhile, STFL also completely taken down by Leo with that broken weaponry you were talking about.
Okay, now that's a way to start the game. SCFL being completely taken down. This will not only give weaponry but confidence as well to Leo.
Yep.
Don't know how it happened, but hey, it's great. It's great if the players are able to get such good frags for themselves. And now would love to see how do they progress in the game. But yeah, IAWO, I see Woofes, I see Octopus Domain still in the game. Viper has already been taken down. That too by a player of Team IHC. So you do try to use the bridge towards the main from Georgia Pole. Good decision. But fighting against IHC, not so much.
Well, with the numbers disadvantage that has already been created onto IAWO, I feel like IHC will soon be in the mood to just barge in and take their frags, confirm their points, because right now consistency is what every single team is seeking, and for that you need to make sure that you at least have one fight before trying to survive.
Mhm.
But let's see, gathering all together in one single apartment, I guess it's gonna be slightly difficult, but then again, considering the number of rooms on every single floor, it will still give a good shot at sustaining for the side of IHC. But the number of nades that are getting tossed at them, the number of mollies that are getting used, it's gonna make things difficult.
Okay, I mean, IHC really want to commit into this battle. They want these early four frags. I think that is because they've already scouted out all the nearby areas. They know that the possibility of the third parties are almost next to nil. and they've already eliminated one of the players. So why not go for the entire team? Oh, love that number too. Anna, unfortunate for you, you only have one correct prediction. But meanwhile, Zeol goes down to a nade of domain and is able to get that frag. But this is the time where we predict our team that we think are going to win the game. Anna, I'll leave it to you first. Who do you think is going to get that chicken?
This time I'm gonna put my faith into 4MB.
4MV, huh? I'd go with
Yeah, been a
Stalwart
long
Esports.
time.
I'll again go with
Alrighty.
Stalwart Esports. They have a really cool spot in the zone, and I think the zone is going to Georgia Pole Hill. And then with them on top, it's super difficult for any team to come nearby. Already, I do see tops just proving my prediction correct. I've gotten that frag. But yeah, IHC, as soon as they lose a player, they're out of here. They wanted this fight to be clean, but they've lost the player. They know they're not inside the zone, and now they're prioritizing rotation over maybe trying to frag out the players of Team IW, which is a good thing, probably. But could have been done earlier with Zeol alive. Would have been so better. But this is what you have to work with, and let's see how do they do about it.
Well, we'll definitely figure that out soon enough. But both the teams currently being outside the zone are gonna be prioritizing the zone soon enough. And with the push coming in with the blue, I think IW will have to start marching forward, and that's exactly what they're gonna be doing. But yeah, we do still see a few players from the side of IW trying to make sure that they scope out from the region before they have to walk down. Now, fall damage has been soaked in, but that's about. I mean, you can actually neglect it considering it's first zone. It's not going to be that damaging. You have a vehicle at hands. Octopus can just run away, and
Yeah.
so should IHC.
That's true. So should IHC. But right now,
Whoa.
wow, what a nade coming in from the players of Raw Official. 2 nades, 2 knocks, and running is being done by the players of Team SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. Well, not for too long because Ajura also gets taken down. Early battles being won, and Raw Official also showing, not Raw Official, Raw Esports also showing that they are over here to win. They will get all the 3 frags for themselves. And maybe even Mafia Ninja in the process if they see him rotating.
Well, it seems like Raw Esports is gonna be able to close and seal up the fate for SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. It does not seem like SKYLIGHTZ Gaming is gonna have much standing in this particular game, even though they were in a good enough spot to begin with. But well, as of now, Mafia Ninja is gonna be able to survive, is gonna be able to walk away, trying to figure out more and more placement points for the team, because I don't think fragging power is in their support anymore. Crossing over from BITX, it seems like Georgopol Hills is where Mafia Ninja wants to stall.
Oh, meanwhile,
Oh, no.
ASL in this battle, HVDC, they're just taking down players of ASL one by one. Although, good thing for Assassin, he's also able to get 2 over here. But now, Sleepy being pushed in from Rogue gets another knock. Assassin, the last one standing. Rogue wants to heal himself up, patch himself back up, but the nade will. I think it just made sure. Okay, never mind. It did not connect onto Rogue. It just was overshot a little bit. So the follow-up attempt is there, but through the window, Rogue is able to pull off a 1v4. And HVDC, they still survive.
Well. It was literally one player against 4, and still ASL could not close it. So I don't know. Maybe after all of the things that we've talked about, this is one thing that I'm gonna have right on my predictions, which is ASL cannot make it. They're upsetting me a lot. I want to see a lot more game from this team, but they're just not delivering at all right now. As of now, we do still see the zone, though. It is delivering a lot of trouble to all the teams because it has gone east, and most of our teams were towards the western edge. It's not going to be a long rotation, but it's still going to be a tougher one because a lot of teams are in the same exact region.
Yeah, DRS CMF, they're also trying to find themselves a place around the Georgia Pole Hill. But little do they know that there'll be hellfire from above. And even IHC from down below is throwing in some shots. 90 degree is able to get that one knock, but it will be IC from up top who will get that third party frag. Good job done by the players of Team Stalwart Esports. They could also still get one more frag out of BID. The players of Leo are also down there. IHC, another team that have to rotate from around the hill probably to get inside the zone. Not a fun time. Not a fun time to be anyone except for the players of Team Stalwart Esports. But even Stalwart will have a lot of problem once they have to jump down this hill to get inside the zone. Right now, Demo and Godless will survive the onslaught. Don't know how, but the shots are not landing. And IC will be touched up a little bit too. But now the AK, that's not the weapon for the job in such a long range area.
Well, in the meanwhile, IWO gets taken out completely, and Stalwart Esports tries to go into the fight,
Why
takes
yellow?
damage, and action gets knocked for no reason at all. This was useless aggression coming in from the side of Stalwart.
He's all alone and still forcing a fight. I mean, you had the support from behind. You could have called a player to get those trades. Although that's not the case, and action has already fallen down. Now, Demo is also there. I don't think so. BITX CMF's player will have a good time because of it. 90 degrees stuck in a rock in a hard place. And I think his elimination is imminent now.
Well, 90 degrees is not going to have a fun time going forward, but Stalwart Esports as well has lost a player for no good reason in this particular fight. And I feel like Action definitely pulled off something very, very stupid at this point of time. And that shouldn't have happened. If they had all four alive, I could have had hopes for your prediction, but now I feel like it's shattering down.
I mean, okay. I don't really mind if Stalwart Esports get eliminated over here. They still have good number of points. The only thing is
That's
4MB still has to perform good. So we'll have to get out of each other's way sometime or the other, right? So we have good competition. But meanwhile, Leo and DEADEYES guys
Wow.
will. I thought they will fight out. But once again, there's a self-nade case over here. So Slipknot threw a nade. He knocks himself out. Also tags along the remaining players of his team. And the follow-up nade from DEADEYES guys, Precious was just too good. And that's how an entire team gets eliminated within a matter of seconds.
DEADEYES guys, however, stealing frags from my 4MB right now because 4MB was the one who initiated the battle against Leo, got the first frag, and then suddenly DEADEYES guys is like, you know what, let me take care of this. And now DEADEYES guys is going completely berserks onto IHC. And in the meanwhile, Stalwart making use of the third party situation that they've gotten on hands. And 4MB is still busy fighting it off against NBeSports.
Yeah, well, the problem over here is the ammo capacity and the loot that Stalwart did. So they looted early Gatka area, and that does not give you a good amount of loot. So now with the whatever remainder of the loot that they had, they are still trying to work around it. You look at IC, he only has 90 more bullets available in his M4. That's not enough. I do not even see a secondary weapon. It's just a pan. So Stalwarts are really struggling tactically in terms of the weapons that they would have. Now IC will be bombarded by the players of JMEX, and nobody is trying to run him over, which he successfully does. And nobody will be taken care of too. What a great way to get those frags, but then the cover from up top arrives, and even that third party again by the players of team NBeSports. That will help with the elimination, but I don't think so. IC is getting a revival anytime soon. So Stalwart, they lost probably another player.
They have lost two, and now the remaining two are trying to battle the blue while making their way back into the circle. It's gonna be slight ride, but then not as difficult because no other teams are reinforcing the area. However, they are gonna have to sustain completely in the open, fighting against JMEX, closing up on Snipe YT, making sure that JMEX gets eliminated completely, but still not at the top just yet. And in the meanwhile, DEADEYES guys takes hits from 4MV.
4MB also enjoying those third party frags. Good for them. Great job done by them to survive in top 7 at least for now. And they're looking for some more frags. DEADEYES guys, Sussex. Yeah, the Lambo is not fast enough on that kind of terrain. And that's where you'll get shot off from. But Sekujin wants to get that third party, gets that knock on to Baron. Confirmation will be super difficult considering 4MV. They just have a charade of smokes over here.
Exactly. The number of smokes they are carrying are going to be really helpful in creating a cover to go ahead and commit to the revival. However, losing a player is going to be very difficult for 4MV considering they're not in the best role just yet, and they're going to have a lot of time before they can actually find themselves with the same cushioning that they had in first week. I feel like the revival has already happened, and that's good enough to start off from the side of 4MB, if I'm not wrong. And NBeSports, in the meanwhile, is trying to withdraw from the fight somehow.
Yeah, NBeSports is like we have the only compound in the entire zone, so let's just keep it that way. But the good thing for 4MV, they have the entire zone to themselves, so they can definitely use it. Jiggle, oh, barely survives. One more bullet would have done the job, but it does not connect. It does not connect, and Raw will survive with all four. Whereas Stalwarts with just two, getting inside the zone is again going to be a difficult thing to do. In the next 15 seconds, they'll have to move inside the zone. Now that's a problem. They're trying to loot the crate first so that they're able to reset in terms of utility that they have. I don't think so. That's a good way to approach the game. In top six, at least that's good news for all these players, all these teams. But the thing is, HVDC also is just one player standing. I do not even see him on the mini map, so he's probably snaking around the long grasses that this area has. But NB
He's
Sports,
towards
they're the happy
southeast.
ones.
Yeah, HVDC player is towards southeast. It's Rogue that's surviving. Soon enough, will be in the crosshairs of Mabetex Esports if they're looking in the right direction, though, because nobody is expecting
And
a
it's
team to come in from there. But yeah, NV Esports in the meanwhile still trying to hold on to their fort, but slightly unsuccessful because Nirzet got enough time to heal back up and come back into the battle. In the meanwhile, though, Rogue gets a knock onto Dog, entering from towards 4MV side.
That's a good knock to find. Nirzet though, he's just running around trying to just dodge those nades. I mean, the second player Tops will also join his area and will get shot from behind. Raw Esports are the ones who are taking some shots out of Stalwart Esports. Now Nirzet just blasts his vehicles out, wants to survive, but Jiggle will blast the vehicle of Tops, get that knock, and finally NB Esports' nade will connect on to Nirzet. That's the elimination of Stalwart Esports on the 6th spot.
Well, with Stalwart Esports getting eliminated on 6th spot, it means they're taking home 9 points, and 4MV so far only has 2 points to the name, and Doc has yet not been revived back. So let's see if they're gonna be doing that soon enough, because it's top 5 teams surviving, out of which one is literally a single solo survivor
Wow.
from HVDC. They gotta put their footing down. But Raw Esports, one team that had a great opportunity here, losing players one after the other, and in the meanwhile, also HVDC gets eliminated.
Now Mondo is pushing in, just wants to confirm that final frag onto Raw. The molly is good, so Sky will have to come all out in the open, reveal himself, and Mondo will just take care of him. A good attempt from both these teams, I'd say Stalwart and Raw. Stalwart though held their ground for a second, but Raw was just completely uprooted. As soon as the vehicle stops, boom, one player gone. As soon as they go for the revival, boom, knock player out, you're also down. A 2v4 is what this was. The third player was trying to cover in from behind. Nothing of that sort happened. And easy eliminations coming in from for the players of Team NB Esports. It's down to the last 3 teams remaining. All of them have 4 players. So to call anyone victors right now will be a little bit of a stretch, but definitely NB Esports with the third party and not having the zone will give that advantage to 4MB this time around.
Absolutely. 4MV is the one with most control inside the zone, and the circle is definitely looking in their favor as of now. NB Sports still has to make sure that they take care of Mabetex and then also be aware of where to push in from, because if they are slightly under cautious, they will get taken down by 4MV. East, in the meanwhile, though, taking a lot of damage, finds a spot to hide into and will recover soon enough. Needs to relocate as quickly as possible, considering the whole zone is under the control of 4MV. I expect the players to keep reshuffling their positions so that NB Esports has a hard time figuring out where they are.
Okay, 4MV. The good thing is all 4 players survive, but the problem over here is all 4 players are completely isolated from each other. So one knock onto the 4MV player will mean that they cannot play as a team of 4. Now NB Esports from far away, they've been able to do good damage, significant damage, I'd say. But now when it comes to getting inside the zone, 40 meters is the distance that you need to cover. Plus you've already drawn eyes on both the sides. Even 4MV is looking towards you. Mabetex also has an idea that there is a team in front of us. Apex being shot at, tagged up a little bit, but the knock is still not there. And I'm still concerned for NB Esports, because how do they make their way inside the zone?
NBeSports does not have a way in. Mabetex does not have the numbers. 4MV looks like they're in the best position right now, and with that pick on Desert, they have made sure that Mabetex has even lesser chance of standing their ground. Zero is the only person from Mabetex who is gonna be on the ground, who can actually take the fight. And well, with the zone, I think Desert will also get eliminated soon enough. So that's just one revival that will have
Carry
to
in the zone.
be left with.
He can carry his guy in the zone if he's not able to crawl back up. And this smoke will really help with the revival too. But the player has been spotted. The player has been spotted down by Baren. East gets that knock onto Mondo though. That's a good knock to fight for the players of Team 4MB. They're just eliminating the competition over here. Giro, he is in a little bit of a troublesome situation, but Fizzboy gets a counter knock. And now the problems start for 4MB. How do they get the revival? I do not see any smokes available for Baren, but he does have nades. But the range, I think, is not nadeable. The players of the opponent team are a little bit too far. Dog gets confirmed by the players of Team NBeSports. They did have a rage over here. So now NBeSports have that numbers advantage, but how do they utilize it? Beren not being able to connect the shots, and now he's running out of ammo too. Only has an AK to work with as the secondary weapon. 4MV into the zone. 20 meters is the number that the players of Team NBeSports have to move in. But the nades, I think this is the time you try and start throwing some nades onto the players of Team NBeSports. Because as soon as they create that smoke wall, because I do see a lot of smokes being blew by the players of Team NBeSports, I think there'll be a big problem for the players of 4MV to deal with it because they have less players in number.
Exactly, the numbers are going to be a difficult situation for 4MV going forward, because NBeSports is soon going to be able to find themselves the opening that they require to actually come back into the
They're
circle.
running over
And the
players.
distance is also going to be a difficulty. Apex, this monster has
Good
to make
nade.
sure that he gets to take it out. Knocks one, loosens up the HP on the other. Wait a second, was he sacrificing himself?
They wanted to make an opening over here, NBeSports. They just want to just counter the bad position that they have inside the zone. And now East is forcing a 1v1 with Sekujin. He wants to close in the distance, get within nading range, and get the job done. But Baren spotted out. The cover is immaculate from East. The trades are there, but Sekujin is the last one surviving for NBeSports. I think it's a 1v1 with Baren. Baren will get that reset, plus Sekujin does not have any cover to work with. If he prones down right now, that could be the death of him. He also has a nade to work with. But I think so Baren also knows where Sekujin is. It's a 1v1. It's a clear 1v1. Baren peeks around the corner, tags up Sekujin. The nade in his hand can do the job. But Sekujin instantly prones out. The nade up in the sky. Does it land? It does! And 4MV are able to get that chicken dinner.
What did I say? What did I say? A winner chicken dinner coming in for 4MV after 5 bad days. The team picks itself back up, does not have great number on eliminations, so not gonna bother with that. But still, we only needed 8 per game. They have covered themselves for 2 games already with that 17 total points and 7 from elimination. Second overall rank becomes theirs, and soon enough first as well.
Make it clap.
Alright guys, welcome back after this short little break. Me and Anna are back at it. It was a fun game. Not Stalwart, sorry. 4MB. the perfect prediction over here coming in from Ahana. Matching the prediction number over here. Great job done by 4MB. Lucky the zone was with them. I'd still say lucky because NBeSports had the upper hand overall in the entire game. A good move from
I don't
them
know what
too.
you're talking about. I don't know.
Oh, okay. 4v3 number advantage is what they had. But they did not have the zone. So they tried to counter it while trying to push out to one of the players of Team 4MB. They knew that all these 3 players are playing just completely alone. Could have gone either way, but that last 1v1 was played superbly. It was just played perfectly. He had a nade. He knew he's already tagged down the last remaining player, and he had to go for it. He just had to go for the nade. He just was not able to even put it in anywhere close to him. But the damage, the shrapnels were enough to finish the last remaining player off. And that's how you get the chicken dinner for 4 MB. Great job done by him. Although the MVP will be from NBeSports, because I think the number of frags were very good for NBeSports overall.
Well, NBeSports did have good number of frags, 5 out of which were taken by Sek himself. And I guess this dude survived for really long as well, dealt a lot of damage, made a great start for the team. I mean, 7 knocks, 2 assists, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I would also like to see the top performing players in the game, because I think 4MV will have a representative or two. Plus, a player from Stalwart Esports should also be there, considering they were able to, get good number of frags. I think 8 frags is what they had, or maybe 7, somewhere around that number.
Yep.
So it was a really good game for all these teams. And let's have a look at the top players as well. So Sek is definitely leading the chart, followed by Fizzboy with 6 elimination. Rogue makes his name for HVDC. So earlier it was Sanchi. Aero is the one top fragging, but it is Rogue this time around who has the highest elimination of the number is 4. Surprised to see East making this list over here. I'd say that's only because of the damage he has, 904, but the elimination is just 1. And followed by Stalwart Esports' tops. 3 frags overall. Okay-ish game for Stalwart, but a very good game for 4MV.
Absolutely, but how sad does it have to be for you to have 904 damage and still only 1 frag point? That's really sad. But well, in any case, East did make it into highest assists. He has 4 assists overall, and out of 7 frags that were taken by the team, I guess he did a great job for the team. And one after the other, every single player keeps showing up from the side of 4MV. And now I won't be bothered even if they have a bad game. However, I don't want them to. I would want them to just go ahead and seize another one. But yeah, even with 7 frags and 10 placement points, they stand at 2nd overall position in this particular match, because NBeSports seized 14 elimination points.
See?
Huge.
See, this is what I was talking about when I said lucky. Because they were really lucky that the zone was.
They should have predicted the zone then. If they wanted to win, they should have predicted the zone.
Now I won't get into the details, Hana, because you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about.
Wow, man.
But yeah, for NBeSports, 20 points overall. Raw and Stalwart also had a good game. For the other teams, DEADEYES guys. Okay, DEADEYES guys. Now that's a good start, considering they were a team in top 5. I think. Maybe not. Maybe they stripped down yesterday. I did not pay attention to the points table yesterday, except for the top 3.
Wow.
But yeah, DEADEYES guys also good start, getting 7 points. They'll probably need a chicken too today, so that they're able to get back into the tournament. But other than that, the other teams, ASL, not the best possible performance. 3 is better than 0, but come on, 3 is just 3. You're not getting far with just these number of points you have.
I mean, getting 3 is great for ASL, considering they don't manage that much most of the times.
Yeah, that's also true.
So I'm just gonna say, good job, keep it up, improve slowly. Maybe next time you will be able to make it. I don't know. This time you won't, that I know. But keeping that aside, I'm very impressed by the way 4MV played today. And I want this to continue. I want this to another one of those days where they have 2 chickens, all Gucci. By the end of the day, Stalwart is back on the 3rd position. Or maybe 2nd, because SKYLIGHTZ hasn't performed very well either. And now the difference between SKYLIGHTZ and Stalwart has also increased. So yeah, happy for 4MV. SKYLIGHTZ is definitely on 3rd position now. Happy for Stalwarts again. I mean, even though that's not the team I picked for the overall week, I definitely have confidence in the team. I was hoping for them to be the 2nd on the overall leaderboard. And they might be. They very well
might. Well, that's a good start. That's what you can say. It's a good start for 4MV. Still not the earlier 4MV, because they would have gotten 17 position while being on third spot, considering the frags that they usually get are very high. So I'm a little bit concerned for them, but it's okay. It's a slow start. It's a good start. That's what you want. 17 points. You've already broken, I'd say, the entire number of points collected by you yesterday. You've just already broken that number in one single game. So that's a really good thing for 4MV. But let's see how do they continue about it. Even Raw Esports as well. They've performed consistently. I mean, we're not talking much about them because they're not getting those chickens again and again, but this team has been there getting those double-digit points every single time. At least for yesterday, I do remember they were very consistent throughout yesterday. And today as well, starting off, they got good number of points. They had 11 points, I think, if I remember properly. So Roy Esports is also another team to look out for. They definitely have the potential, they definitely have the caliber, and they're showing it right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them in top 3 after the first 3 game ends.
If SKYLIGHTZ does not pick up their pace, yes, we would see Raw Esports coming back up. However, one challenger for them might be HVDC. Even though this particular game did not go as well for HVDC as you would expect. But then again, I still feel like HVDC is going to be able to pick up more pace going forward, because this is one of those teams that shows improvement not only in gap of days but also in gap of games. Like you see first game going okay, then second game going better, third going even better. Like I've seen that happen for HVDC. So let's see if they're gonna be able to squeeze in elimination.
Personally, I only saw HVDC performing good in one day, just one day.
I remember
the
4
day
days. Even in first week, there were a couple of days. They didn't get the chickens, but they got good number of eliminations.
No, okay. Well, overall standing is where I'll try to find them if they did play good overall. But yeah, I just remember one day. That was week number 2, I think, day number 1.
When Sanchit started off with the
exactly. Sanchit
clutch,
kept coming in the kill feed. So that's the only day I remember HUDC having an impact overall. After that, they've slipped down. Even yesterday in the weekly rankings, I did not spot them in top 3. So I was like, yeah, it's okay. They got one good day. That's why they had 80 points from just one single day. That's why they were on top. After that, they just kept on falling, and suddenly they'll be 7th or 8th overall position. So that's what that's what I feel for HUDC. Not that consistent, but Royce was definitely from week number 1. I'm seeing them perform.
That's true.
They did not wholeheartedly give all their perfect performances, but now this time around I'm seeing an improvement over here. 11 points once again. I don't know if they will play in the follow-up game or not, because this game would be sat by Group D, I suppose. And this will be that one and only map of Miramar. So Group D players, they won't be playing this one out. Stalwart Esports, I think, is a team of Group D. So we will not see Stalwart in this particular matchup. It's a good time for 4MV though to catch up with the lead, make sure that they're able to equalize the numbers over here.
Absolutely, that's gonna be pretty optimal for 4MV to go ahead and do. But yeah, and there are a couple of other teams as well that I'm really looking forward to. I am trying to see more performance coming in from the side of Leo, from the side of Seal. These two teams are trying real hard. They haven't been able to close well just yet, but these two teams definitely are giving their best to the show, and that can be seen in their performance. I'm trying to see DRS come up on top and justify the team name, because this team has been super hyped, super fan followed, but I'm still not seeing the number of the number of leaderboards points for them just yet. And I'm also expecting to see some good game coming in from the side of King of Spades alongside Raw officials. So yeah, soon enough we'll see these teams coming back up. I don't have much to hope for JMEX and BITX just yet. So these two teams are gonna be someone I'm gonna wait till they impress me before I put my money on them.
Okay. Let's see. All right. If you talk about the plane path this time around, starts from all the way south, goes towards Torre Humuda. Now, it's a very centric sort of a plane path where all these teams will slowly and steadily be dropping all around the map. El Pozo, Craterfield, La Cobreara, all these areas will be a little bit difficult to achieve, but I see a team will still try and drop around it because not that far away. But King of Spades. Now, this will be a game that they will play, but where do they drop? I did not see them dropping around that Lost Ego Silent, because that was their secondary drop, I believe. But this time around, they have dropped somewhere around Power Grade right now, and probably gliding towards the city of Montenegro or El Pozo, where they'll find vehicles and run towards ruins. That probably is their game plan, which is not looking good at all, considering the zone has completely gone all the way south. And if you talk about the area playable, it's less than 50%, because 50% of the area, more than 50% of the area is inside water.
Exactly. King of Spades is not gonna have a good game this time. And to initiate that, DEADEYES guys already are taking off fights and picking off players from the side of King of Spades. Now, this is what happens when you don't drop to the position that you're most comfortable in. If you go to a secondary location which you're not very familiar with, another team who is already familiar is able to go ahead and grab the right kind of loot to actually go ahead and take fights with you, because they're more aware of the way the pattern the loot actually arrives in. So yeah, DEADEYES guys is gonna be able to capitalize on this particular fight, and the King of Spades might not have as much opportunity. Also, going around in the apartment itself is easier for the team that does it more often, and that has been shown very well. Now, I guess I should stop trying to hype up any of the teams, because I just talked about King of Spades and they've been taken down the moment they landed. So
Uh-huh.
this time, I don't think 4MV is gonna win at all. Like, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, I have no clue if 4MV will ever win this match, and I think Stalwart has great opportunity of winning this, even if they're not playing
Okay. Now the second thing
it.
does not even matter to me. But yeah, 4ME not playing good is definitely news to me. Now,
No,
okay, let's
I'm
see
just saying that
Chubasera.
because whatever I
I know
say,
what you're
opposite
saying.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to do over here. But yeah, 4ME will have to show up again because Chubasera rotation will be a difficult one
Difficult one,
this time
yes.
because there'll be a lot of teams in their way. Plus, if
Yep.
they go for that late rotation, the way that they did in the map of Erangel, now that was a very, I'd say, cheeky rotation. But they again got lucky considering they were out in the open fields for a very long period of time, but were not spotted down by any of the teams or were not shot upon by any of the teams. But this time, look at this. They have to fight. They might have to fight against IAWO, Mabetex, STFL, maybe even the players of Team Raw Esport. And if everything goes just worse, the Venom would be a team stabbing them in the back. So the rotation is definitely going to be a matter of concern for me for 4MV. But I think they will have it figured out, right? They've already
I
seen
think
all
they will
these teams
rotate from
drop.
south.
Yeah, so if they do that, that's a very safe rotation. But then again, we'll also have to take into consideration zone number two. Where does it go? So we know that these sort of zones usually end up towards the main island. Very rarely they'll go in the water and be completely out of luck. If it can happen, I would love to see the final zone going towards the two little main island that are present inside the circle for now.
Hmm.
Would just love to see that sort of a zone because whoever touches the
I love
ground
water
first
zones,
wins.
yeah.
And if that's the case, well, HVDC will have an advantage. Maybe Seal will have an advantage. But yeah, other than that, if it ends towards the main island, probably the city of Puerto Paraiso or even the outskirts of Los Angeles would become important overall.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very well said on that. But yeah, in the meanwhile, we are pretty aware of the fact that 4MV is going to be finding their rotation soon enough. However, their rotation will be dangerous for DE Venom because they might end up losing a couple of players in the process. However, stronger fake love, completely aware of the rotation of Mabetex Esports and still so silent, so patient, so disciplined, not bursting out any fires. They
Mhm.
have their players around. It's not going to be very hard to approach, but they still want to make sure that they have complete idea of the terrain before they go ahead and pick up fights. But Mabetex Esports not as patient.
Okay. Now, let's see. I mean, we still have to see how these teams perform. There's a Khan 88 in action, but Reefus does not land any of those shots. So he will still have to just be in this position and maybe get that little buzz that he was earlier hoping for. I8 Badu though will take down one of the players of Team Maptex. So if he could jump out of that fight, it'll be really lovely to see how does Team Maptex defend against that knock that they've just received.
Well, Mabetex with that knock is already looking not as good in this fight compared to STRFL. But in the meanwhile, IAW also trying to capitalize onto the situation. Now Mabetex has nowhere to go. If they try to fall back, they have STRFL to deal with. And if they do not, then IAW is already feasting on them.
Okay. Now IAW they did have a good upper ground on this battle, but then considering there's a compound down below and they know that the revival will be there, it's difficult. It's just difficult to get the knocks from there from that point in time. Now, Wally also has a Khan ID. Is the sniper action coming back or what?
I think so. I think it is. Because after all, when it comes to a tournament which is so worth carrying, you don't want to take your risks. And the best way to actually go ahead with that is making sure that you pick people from such a long distance that they have no opportunity to retaliate.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, it would be lovely to see how does this particular thing go. But right now, I do see him up top on a hill trying to maybe just spot down any of these players and take those early frags. Although that's not the case in Mondo. Still outside blue, 2000 meters away. Now, this 2000 meters will take you at least 2 to 3 minutes with a vehicle, with a fast moving vehicle to get inside the zone, considering the terrain is flat. How do you do it when you're so far away without a vehicle? Because I did not see a vehicle for that player. So that's a big question that I have for the players of NBeSports. Now, Roy Esport on the other hand, inside the zone, somewhere around Lost Lures, because I can see the big L over here. But let's see if this L can be converted into a W by them or not.
Well, we'll find out. I don't think it's gonna be a Roy Sports game overall because they haven't even been able to find a footing just yet. However, they are delivering constantly, so do have hopes for them. In the meanwhile, though, they are encountering JMEX soon enough, and that's gonna be one fight that they would want to keep away from because if this fight initiates, 4MV will definitely third party and find themselves an easy placement inside the circle. So Roy Esports has to be super careful right now. So does JMEX. And to be very honest, so does 4MV. The fight could start with anyone and anyone could become the third party participant.
That's correct. Although if we look at this, IAWO, Wadu again has that information out of yet another team. Earlier, I think it was Mabetex. This time around, it's DRS CMF.
Yep.
BID is slightly a weaker team as compared to Mabetex. So if this fight happens, I8 would love to eliminate the players of Team PITX CMF. But let's see if that's the case or not. All of these teams, especially the ones that have the higher range advantage, just proning in, waiting for the zone number 3 to start, zone number 2 to close in, get some information prior to where they rotate. Although this time around, again, the zone is in such a way that 50% of the area is unplayable. So they're just restricted to a very constricted, refined semicircle, I'd say, that will essentially force you to fight it off. And already one of the battles have happened where Jiggle from Raw gets the first blood for his entire team.
Exactly, and Deadeye's guys in the crosshair currently getting attacked on. 4MV, I think, does not want to become a part of this fight. They do understand that they need more and more points to themselves, and one better way of doing it is taking lesser fights in the initial stage and making sure you survive to the last two positions. However, I feel like 4MV is one of the teams that should be more dependent on their own fragging power because they're great at it. But right now, them being scared is just something I can completely justify. But yeah, in the meanwhile, Roy Sports still trying to look for players from Deadeye's guys, while the rest of the players from Deadeye's guys actually choose to deviate from their path and rotate all the way from towards La Bendita, which is a longer rotation, but it supports their cause because this one did not work out.
Meanwhile, even Seal and D Venom have fought determines themselves. Riley Khan has already been taken down. So Seal get their very first frag. Although Kirito has to make sure that he is in a spot where he's able to get some sort of cover from maybe his teammate or maybe a broken down vehicle so that he can survive. Fuel is also tossing a few shots out of the players of Team D Venom. Domi's vehicle has been tagged up quite a bit. Domi himself has received a bullet or two in his body. But they'll rotate off, they'll survive, and Seal will reset themselves.
Well, Seal definitely has the opportunity to reset themselves, and they have a great position in the circle as of now. Soon enough, the circle will close into the point where they won't have to watch their six at all, and they will be able to focus onto the fights towards their northern side itself. And considering that they are literally on the shore, they're not even gonna have to watch their three because there's nothing in the water body either. So great position for Seal to begin with, but yeah, D Venom is someone they will have to take care of soon enough. In the meanwhile, the zone pushes the players of IAW and Raw officials, and both these teams in a standstill, Mexican standoff, still
That
trying to
happens between
find.
three teams.
That happens between three teams.
Yes.
There is NBeSports approaching.
But they'll basically Mexican standoff is one of the moments where none of the players are fighting because they know that they'll be third party from a different angle. But right now, a monster truck jump and Domain survives under it. Now Jiggle would just be
Wow.
crossing his stars over here. He would, bro, come on. How can you expect a player down there? That's just unfortunate for Jiggle. He gets taken down. The trades are happening all around the board, but it seems to be team IAW are the ones who are benefiting out of it.
Well, I think it's not very optimal time to pick a team just yet in this fight because both sides are getting traded constantly. IWO is getting frags, but so is Raw Esports. Two players have been taken down from the side of I8 as well. But wait a second. Never mind. Now it's time to say it. I8 wins.
The revival is my question. So you will be able to, okay, you will be able to revive both the players. There's no one nearby you. You should be very, very happy with the result that you have IAWO. Conversion. We just need conversion onto this particular game, and let's see if IAWO is able to give us that. Once again, the zone chase 30% of the area still in water, so still not playable around. HVDC meanwhile lose a player, but the trade has happened because IHC Godless also falls.
Well, it's about time the producer asks us for predictions, and if they do, I am gonna go with 4MV, considering that I really want to see this team come back on top. But yeah,
Did you say
as of
something about 4MV?
yeah, and they
Dog just got
started
knocked out.
losing. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw that, and I took the pain of it. I'm gonna live with that. But can you look at JMEX? The position they are holding,
Okay. I do not see them. No.
all the way down south, the two brown bindis that you see, they are
Okay.
JMEX.
Well, but here we do have a fight between NBeSports and 4MV on our hand, where
Oh,
IAWO
revenge.
also want to have a piece of it. So it's Baron versus NBeSports, and the rest of 4MV versus IAWO. Man, let's see if they're able to hold into this battle, but there'll be a third part. No, it'll be a fourth party because Wolfage just got taken down by a player of Team PITX CMF, and Apex with the nade will get that confirmation. Just anything, literally anything is happening right now on this map. 4MV they get the revival too. Baron somehow has danced around all the nades that were thrown at him, and NB Sports for some reason they've gone completely passive. Let's see what's the outcome of this game now.
Well, IAWO does not even have the zone support. They are all the way outside. I feel like even though this fight is going on berserks, I'm gonna pick 4MV for this win.
Ooh, 4MV still okay. Interesting prediction, but this time around I'd go. Let's see. HVDC really have a good area in the zone, but since they're all by themselves, I would not like to pick HVDC. I'd go with the team coming from the northern side. Who is it? I'll go with SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. I go with
Okay.
SKYLIGHTZ over here because they only have one fight in front of them, that's HVDC, and if they're able to win it out, should not be a problem. Meanwhile, the two brown bindis, yeah, well, one of them has been taken care of by Seal.
Exactly, and the other one is gonna be taken care of soon enough as well because you look at the position Lexi has. It's not gonna be very easy for Lexi to actually even come out of this tiny little shack, and they're already outside the zone. So something gonna happen, and that something is gonna be Lexi's device. There it is, done and dusted with that molly all sealed off, and now Seal is gonna find themselves a spot inside the zone. And can you look at that? 4MB. Done and dusted with the battle, every single player survives. Every
That's
one
good.
of them.
That's really great for the players of Team 4MB to get to just get into the game with all the four players standing. But now again there'll be a battle. Seal, this is while trying to rotate in the zone. This could not. This will get messy if you take it. It's all on them if they really want to fight this one out. 4MV Apex is literally in their faces now. Seal, are they ready for this? Are they ready for Apex to be in such a spot? The terrain is so hilly that they'll have good cover using the Doom buggies that they have. But Kirito could have fallen down, does not happen. He's trying to take him down from a different angle, but now comes in Fearless, who did stop with the vehicle that he had. Cover is being provided to the players, but Scooby from a different angle takes down Dog, and that's complete elimination secured.
I jinxed them. I jinxed them. But in the meanwhile, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming also getting knocked by the players of HVDC. That's another fight that's in action right
Mhm.
now. But yeah, Seal, however, trying to capitalize more and more onto this fight, already has an elimination point to the name from the side of 4MV. But 4MV now realizing it was a fight not to be aggressed into in this fashion. However, they are still just trying to rotate in from the southern side itself, but a longer spot this time, avoiding the players of Seal.
For
Not the
how long
best
though?
situation because D Venom will be there.
Yeah, not only do you Venom, there. I mean, Solis also did cut off an angle trying to spot him down. So essentially, 4MV will be back. But Apex is able to get one knock. Now Kirito will also fall down.
Wow.
Great job, guys. Just great job by the players of 4MB. They got 2 of the players of Team Seal down and now have reduced the players of Seal to just 2. Now, how does Seal deal with this 3v2 battle? Soulless has a nade in his hand, but 4MB are just pushing on Fearless. They want to take this battle. Fearless also falls. Isolating all the battles and just leaving East all alone. They say East go kill and he entirely eliminates the entire squad of Team Seal Esports.
Beautifully done by East, beautifully done by 4MV. 8 points is what we asked for. 8 points is what they have already delivered. They still have all 3 of their players standing. However, DE Venom is going to be one team they need to deal with before they can move forward. But Rambo is going to take the damage, will get fallen to the ground. And now DE Venom does not stand much of a chance either. It's going to be Domi, the only player who can actually take a fight. Finding him is going to be a slight bit of a task, but I don't think this is something that will sweat 4MB.
No, the 4MB would not even like to take that fight because it's on a lower ground. So it's better if you just leave that particular area and move to a different place. Move to a higher ground inside the zone. So it's better not to take that battle. DE Venom can just go and maybe revive themselves up, get the second player back up and running, and then try to fight their own battle, try to get inside the zone. Meanwhile, talking about own battle, DRS will have a big trouble while trying to rotate inside the zone. They want to find a spot in the zone. HVDC is covering this particular entrance, and plus ISC from behind too. DRS not a fun time to be alive, in this map.
That's true. I feel like I want to see HVDC and SKYLIGHTZ Gaming pick up a fight between themselves, take off a couple of players from each team, and that puts the victory on the boards for 4MP. It's super easy after that because BITX does not matter how many players they survive with, they always mess up the ending. But yeah, the one fight that will happen, whether I expect it or not, is gonna be DRS mounting right on top of IHC. Already taken Godless down, but now moving forward is gonna be difficult because HVDC with that third party takes down too. DRS not looking good.
The buggy just came in, but look at the HP bar. The nade was so good from Alex. DRS, they were trying to transition in, try to convert onto the knocks that they had. But ISC, they did not even go for the revival. They just went in for the frags instead. And they've done the job perfectly, I'd say. Rules is the only one surviving. And unless Rules clutches out of 1v2, I'd say it's a one battle for the players of Team ISC over here. Now let's see, Mabetex, where do they play from? There are a lot more teams around in this vicinity, so you'll have to be also careful about that. East, meanwhile, falls to the player of Team PIDX CMF. Now that's a fight I did not expect to go that way. Meanwhile, Alex walks onto a nade. And now the last remaining player is going to be Demo. Rules has been tagged up quite a bit. Pops in a first hit, but this is the go sign for the players of HVDC to push in. They want to go in for the third party. Demo, very little HP left. The Molly has already burnt Alex down. Demo spotted down, taken care of. But there's one more player to find. There's another rat around the house. There's another rat around the corner that you need to find about. If they already spotted, they knew Rules would do such a move. Get inside the vehicle. HVDC, eliminate everyone and get 6 frags to their name.
Well, in the meanwhile, revival has happened for the side of East. He's gonna be back on feet, and 4MV is gonna evade this fight. He was roaming around pretty isolated all the way in the front and was taken down by a player from BITX CMF. And this time, they are not gonna be able to convert it into an elimination just yet though. However, the position for Baron scares me a little bit. But in the meanwhile, it seems like BITX CMF are gonna be trying to push a battle with 2 teams at the same time. Why? Why do you want to send one solo player to fight off with 4MB while the rest of you fight off with HVDC?
Now this is a superb zone. Mabetex are really lucky that they're able to get in such a zone. Yeah, I mean only 2 of their players survive, but Mabetex, because they have that compound, that will really help them a lot. BIDX CMF also need to just throw their vehicles down. Probably take one of the warehouses, considering there are 3 over there. So it's a really good situation for all of these teams, man. They're all in the extremities. Some part of the hill is still inside the zone, but essentially you'll have to fight it out amongst yourself. BIDX CMF again, though. Jax gets that knock on to East. But this third party from HVDC, Sanchir, is what I'm interested to see. Degree, does he even know? Does not matter because the shots do not land for Sanchir, and now you'll just have to make sure you're inside the zone. That's about it. SKYLIGHTZ on the other hand have already pushed out to the players of Team NBeSports, I think. Akash has already been taken care of. East gets run over by the player of team BIT. And now BIT seem to be in a tough spot. 4MV seem to be in a tough spot overall.
Well, for 4MV things definitely look difficult, but in the meanwhile, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming starts to lose players against NBeSports.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a fight that goes both ways. Wait a second, no?
They
Okay,
eliminate them.
SKYLIGHTZ takes none whatsoever damage to this and makes
Nima
sure
got
that complete
eliminated.
cleanup is happened. And yeah, in the meanwhile, 4MV also gets eliminated completely though.
Yeah, the only problem is Nima got eliminated for SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, so they'll be playing a 3-man squad from here on. That's the only trouble that we'll have. Although DRS CMF seem to be having a good game. You said they won't be able to eliminate the entire squad, but that is exactly what has happened. Although that's a really cool nade coming in from Krita. Perfectly placed, perfectly positioned, and simultaneously there's another knockout to the player of BIT. Now this is looking like a difficult situation for BIT to get away from. It's only HVDC who's trying to get these confirmations, but the nade is too good. 90-degree all out in the open. The nades are still coming in, and Domi will get another knock. BID from a very good spot, they fell down to the worst possible position now.
Exactly what I was saying earlier. It's all about HVDC and SKYLIGHTZ Gaming because even with all force, BITX does not really have an opportunity to win this one out because they are very famous for giving up every advantage that they have. And now with only two, the Venom is gonna be, somehow capable enough to go ahead and take care of a team which had four literally a second ago. In the meanwhile, though, third party opportunities open up as well. So I guess a lot of players are contesting to get the last frag on BIT, and HVDC is going to be the one that actually confirms it.
The good thing for DE Venom, they have the zone. At least some part of it. But the best possible team right now will be HVDC. As soon as I say that Wally is able to get that knock onto Rogue, although the question is, does he get the revival? I mean, Krita
He
will
will.
barely gets the revival. But no, the player is far away. Rogue is very far away. But I think Aero is running towards him. So the revival will be there. But
Yeah.
Mabetex, they are fighting it out against the players of HVDC. Now, Sanchir, his head was popping out a little bit. But the SKS shots do not land. Now, once again, the zone favors them. The zone has been friend of Mabetex for a very long time now. Let's see if they're able to, make the most out of it. Because HVDC will have to just run in with the vehicles on them. And hope to have a clean fight.
Well, we'll soon figure out if they get that opportunity. For now, Aero has been taken down as well with that great crisp shot coming in from the side of Maptex Leo. But then the revival will still be possible because they're way too far away from the players of Maptex to actually go ahead and confirm any of the frags that they're taking down. So the knocks can definitely be, taken care of by the side of HVDC. But in the meanwhile, DE Venom and SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, look at the position they're having.
Yeah, the southern part of the zone is completely theirs, but the problem is, do they know how to climb that hill? Because if they do not, then it's a very big problem overall. Right now, HVDC is in a problem because the spray Leo connects it out, and now HVDC will only play with the 3 players surviving. Sanchir will be confirmed by Wally and Mabetex, even though they allow the remaining 3 players of HVDC to run into their compound, run into their compound. They still should be well and good. They still should be able to fight it off against them.
Well, as of now, we have 4 teams surviving, 3 of them with 3 players each, and Venom DE is somehow still with 2 players because they definitely were supposed to lose Krita at one point of time. But well, as of now, it seems like SKYLIGHTZ is going to focus onto Venom DE while Mabetex focuses onto HVDC. But HVDC, very uninterested in the fight against Mabetex, is looking for third party opportunities.
The zone is all that matters right now. If it goes towards compound, it's either HVDC's game or it's I'd say the game for Mabetex Esports. But if it comes down south, if it goes in the favor of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, nobody can remove them from here because the position that they have is just insane. And most probably the 2 teams inside the warehouses will fight amongst themselves, or one of them will try to exit from behind and fight against the players of D-Ven. I mean, both the cases you will take some losses if you're not able to cleanly win out all the battles. Now, No Fear once again. Now, these are the moves which I do not like from No Fear. I still remember a prediction that I made. in that map of Erangel, which almost got true, but No Fear said no to it because he wanted to run into a particular place with a buggy. Got eliminated, and one by one SKYLIGHTZ fell. So I just want SKYLIGHTZ to hold their ground, hold their area that they have. They really have a high percentage of winning the chicken dinner. And the eighth zone is also it just went a little bit towards the center, not forcing any of these teams to move, except for DE Venom. Cannot sympathize more with the players of DE Venom. They only have two players surviving, but now they are also not inside the zone, which will be a very difficult thing to do for them.
Well, it's gonna be difficult for the Venom, absolutely. The rest of the three teams already have a lot of control inside the zone as of now, and the fact that it was a compound favored zone again, Mabetex is gonna have an upper hand into the complete scenario. However, I do weigh HVDC above Mabetex as of now because Mabetex has had a very hit or miss run altogether, and HVDC, even though they don't have a great game, they have been able to acquire good enough frag points every single time. So let's see how it goes. As of now, a nade will come in to confirm Domi, and then Krita will be the last one standing. But wait a second, the nade misses.
Yeah, Domi just fell back. So he is trying to just be on the edge of the circle and get back towards his teammates, so the revival could be a little bit of a possibility. The problem over here is HEDC and Mabetex are not fighting amongst themselves. So they are clear that they just want to share the compound over here. But Aero is in a little bit of a trouble, I'd say. Because out in the open, and Mabetex can spot them anytime. Now Krita is trying to crawl back towards the zone from the side of SKYLIGHTZ. Let's see if he's able to surprise any of these players. Although HVDC they get a knock, but Aero, because it's from so far away, unless a nade confirms that frag, I don't think so SKYLIGHTZ should have any trouble getting that player back up.
Well, SKYLIGHTZ definitely is gonna find some problem because it's been turned into a custom red
Volley
zone
nade.
by the side of HVDC. Mafia Ninja being the only one surviving. And the way the nades are coming in, he too might not stay there for long. D Venom Krita also trying to come in with a surprise, but Rogue will finish this off. And now Krita with that final frag will close SKYLIGHTZ Gaming at the last one. Oh goodness.
Three different players, three different ways of getting knocked out. Wow.
Three different
And
teams,
Krita
yeah.
also falls. So now it's a 3v3, and once again I'd say the team I choose might just get the chicken dinner, but then I cancel them, so it does not count. Mabetex though, pushing in. They get a knock onto Aero over here, but HVDC they still have good position around these what even do I call this area? Is it the garage of all the broken down vehicles? Mabetex has been forced in this battle now, considering this is the final zone. So it's a 3v2. HVDC have good number of elimination points, but these days they need to connect if they do want to find the chicken.
Well, now it's a 2v3. It has to be a position which HVDC is gonna be finding trouble closing out on. But if Mabetex messes up at all, if the nades from the side of HVDC land right, then Mabetex will be in trouble. Let's see if Rogue is able to find any value for the team just yet. A Molly is being thrown towards Wally. That's very rhyming, but yeah. With all the utilities in hand, it seems like HVDC is going to try to close in some gap because they do not have enough frag grenades or even smokes or mollies anymore.
Rogue is trying to play in front of the smoke screen that they've created. They just need one good frag. And they know Mabetex cannot survive for long. Ryuk has a really good position inside this area. And somehow there's a pixel out of place which helps Wally get that first knock, which helps Rogue get that first knock. Now the confirmation will also be secured, but from the right hand side, this fight is not looking good at all for Rogue. He will also struggle with the zone now. So the problem that the players of Team Mabetex had will now be taken care of by them, and they will be able to get that chicken dinner.
Completely a zone-based fight in the last exact point, because if and only if HVDC wasn't constrained because of the zone between two different containers, it could have been slightly positive. I mean, we would have at least gone to a 1v1 situation. But yeah, with this winner chicken dinner, Mabetex Esports definitely very happy about the land area that they invested into. And this property has given them high returns with 6 elimination points and 16 total points added to their overall.
Make it clap.
Hi guys, I'll just welcome you back again, but it was a very short break, so no problem. Welcome back guys, PMPL SA 2023, game number 2 just ended, game number 3 is about to begin, the map of Erangel is on the cards, but we'll have some highlights. We'll have some statistics to show you regarding what went on the map of Miramar, and nothing really went good for me considering SKYLIGHTZ had to fight against 3 teams. None of them in the close vicinity, but still each team got 1 frag, and Krita surviving all alone gets a frag for himself and is able to eliminate SKYLIGHTZ. I just did not understand what just happened in the entire game.
Your prediction fell short. That's what happened because
Unlucky.
I mean, same could be said for 4MB.
Nah,
They were also
4MB
stuck
took a
between
fight.
way too many teams.
No, they decided to take
Uh-huh.
a fight. They were not
See,
needed.
that's 4MB. If anyone instigates them, they will take the fight. They
Nah.
don't back out. But yeah,
Stupidity,
let's take a look at the
bravery,
first.
you know, the line is very thin.
I wish
Well
I was
said.
the line between stupidity and bravery. Then I would be thin as well.
Not happening. But if we talk about the MVP of the game, it's Rogue. Got 6 frags overall for HVDC. 971 damage. Great job, my guy. And your team is the one who also get the second place, I believe, with good number of frags. So even though Mabetex get the chicken, they did not have as many frags as I expect them to have. And they might get those 10 points, but you should be the ones on top overall in the charts.
Hopefully, let's find out. We'll soon see. Once, let's take a look at the top players before we walk into the overall, rankings of this particular match. But yeah, look at that. East has 5 for himself. Aero and Rogue together have 9 of their own. And from the side of Mabetex, it seems to be Leo with 3. And Krita with that last frag onto, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, he managed 3.
Yeah, Krita definitely played in a very great way and is able to get good number of frags. But if it's a HVDC summary, not match summary, I think we should get the name changed over here because I see
Yeah.
Rogue, Aero, Rogue. It's Krita just getting the most useless thing, being number 1 in the most useless thing. I'd say getting the most healing 482. Great for Krita, he popped 4 first stage, but then what? Does not give any point, does not give any confidence. But okay, still there. So we will see Krita over there. But here are the match rankings, and as I predicted once again correctly, HVDC, they have 17 points overall, still toppling over Mabetex, who just got 6 eliminations. So there's barely a chicken dinner.
True. Now, remind me once, how much point lead did Stalwart have against 4MB in
22.
the beginning of the game?
23.
23, right? 23. Now, Stalwart in the last game was able to squeeze in 9 points, and 4MB had 17. So that's 8, and this is 11.
4.
So they are
4
already
points left.
19 points ahead. Yes, 4 points to go. Good job, 4MB. I
Yeah,
am
but that's
so
after
happy.
Stalwart did not play this game, nah.
Yeah,
So
but
we'll
there's
also have
gonna
to
be
take
one
into
game that even
consideration.
4MB won't play. That's not gonna be a problem.
Yeah, that's where we'll get the clearer picture.
Yeah,
is what I
we'll
feel.
get the
So-
clearer picture. Cool.
Okay. Overall standing is where the competition is going on right now. What about weekly, huh? No? Didn't you predict 4MB weekly too?
I did
Are
predict
they coming
4MB
up?
weekly. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll find out.
Okay.
There's still 2 days to
well,
go.
We on Illuminate got 4 points. DRS got 4 points. Does not really matter. But the other teams will definitely hope to perform a little bit better in this oncoming map of Erangel, where Group
Erangel,
C
yes.
will be sitting this one out. So all the other teams will have a good chance. All the other teams will have a great chance, not just good, I'd say great chance to see how this game goes. And well, let's see how does this game go.
Well, we'll soon find out because this game is going to be one where both Stalwart and 4MB will be playing, and we will find out if there is still more gap that 4MB is going to be able to capitalize on, or if Stalwart will just keep on increasing the range that 4MB still has to climb up for the first position on the overall leaderboard. And yes, as you mentioned, there is still a long way for 4MB to go to actually figure out if they're going to stay on top in the weekly leaderboard, and that's something I really want to push them for because that's another prediction, guys. 4MB, please come on.
Okay, let's see 4MB. They've been performing consistently at least. That's the borderline.
That's
11
true.
points is not a bad way to get eliminated. I mean, the 9 points for sure helped you overall, getting the 2 position points too as well. That really did not matter a lot, but yeah, 11 points overall. Great job. 28 points today. I asked 40 from you in the upcoming 2 days, but you've given given a little bit too more, so we'll expect a little bit too much from you too. So let's make that to 60. Now the target should be 60 points from these 2 days. Should be easy, man. I mean, 4MB,
If
if
they
they
get
just continue playing like this, it should be an easy target to achieve.
exactly, and if they get 60 in the coming 2 days, I think they will be able to be on top in the weekly as well, because it's
I
not
mean,
that huge of a difference.
come on, Stalwart Esports would not get eliminated with 0 points.
I'm not
And
saying
60 is
they'll
not
get.
a great number.
I'm not
It's a
saying.
big number considering you'll play 8 games throughout, nah.
Yeah,
So
I
it's a
know.
big number to get.
That's true. That's true. But all I'm saying is, if you put 60 on weight of 4MB, I think Stalwart is gonna have slightly lower number on themselves, because
They
two
already
teams
have 80.
can't both have 30 points at the same time, because there's only gonna be one match that they don't play together. So it's gonna
Yeah,
be
but
very difficult to be able to secure, 20 points each for each team.
I mean, getting 60 points in 2 days means what? Getting 30 points every day, 4 games, 30 points is not a big number. So, what, 6, 7 points is continuously you need to get the 6, 7 points and then 1 game with chicken. So, the other team can also perform good. I mean, I've given the leeway for Stalwart Esports to, just keep their climb up. So, we'll have to see. Again, see, Stalwart got eliminated yesterday in the final game with 0 points. They were literally at the bottom of the chart. So if something like that happens, then you can equally put them that the lead will be of 4 points. But right now, we'll have to see how these teams perform, how these teams play. Another map of Erangel. Here we go. I do already see Jajapura on the line, so probably this will end somewhere around Milta Power maybe. But let's see. Yeah, the plane path is going to be an interesting one. Oh, never mind. Very pure is where it ends. I'm just
Yep.
completely on the opposite side.
That's all cool. All the way staying inside the bracket C, it is gonna be going from between Zarki and shooting range all the way towards Ferry Pier. Still a comfortable plane path for 4MV. Somehow this turned out to be super lucky in matter of plane paths. There's hardly been one single time when we saw the plane path be wavered, and in that
Mhm.
particular game, I don't think 4MV was even playing. So it was like such a relief it has been for 4MB every single time they come back to Erangel. But the circle is going to be something that can bother them. I'm hoping for a southern circle this time, a completely military based circle, because both our teams are actually going to be there.
Yep, both the teams are. I mean, should, because usually what Stalwart do is they drop around Gatka. So I do not see Stalwart dropping around Gatka this time around. So they'll probably go towards the overrep. So that's a good thing. Meanwhile, 4MV dropping towards military base or towards maybe this that city of Primos should be easy drops. And let's see where the other teams drop in, maybe take that early battle or not.
Well, early battle already initiated, and Leo is the one who got caught in the crossfire,
Oh,
because
Stalwart.
Stalwart is gonna be staying at Gatka and taking Leo down. Okay, so this team is not deciding to go towards military base this time around, but then the circle has definitely decided that. Half the military base is gonna stay inside the circle, gonna be enough time and enough opportunity for 4MV to go ahead, loot, and also have two different bridges available for rotation for themselves. They can go from military base bridge or they can go from Nowhere bridge. Both are gonna stay inside the circle. As of now, it seems like IWO from Zarki might have slight difficulty walking back in, considering King of Spades and T2K both survive very
Mhm.
close by. But that's gonna be the only team that has problem trying to rotate into the circle. Everyone else is gonna have quite an easy time doing that. But the one team that does not have anything coming easy to them is gonna be Leo.
Yeah, but the problem is before being eliminated, Yeta Uta is able to take down Nerzeth from the game. So Stalwart have already been reduced to just 3 players standing. They will get that revival, but with 3 it will be a difficult job to do in the final few zones. Tops already can be seen running towards outside Pochinki compounds. So he is prioritizing loot overall, wants to just make sure that he has the best possible loot to help his team in the final few circles if they're able to survive till then. And this was the only drop 5 that we had, which got completely done in just a matter of what, a few seconds.
Yup, it did not even last as long for another fight to begin in the meanwhile. Like, sometimes we see so many fights happening at the same exact time, we miss out on some and have to focus on some. Sometimes we see no fights happening at all, and all we can see is players running around trying to find out what they like. It's like window shopping. It's like players have opened up a website and they're looking for what they want, and they're just on that page constantly. But yeah, I like window shopping. I don't have the money
Okay.
to actual shop.
Yeah, well, right now, if we talk about the other players, though, NBeSports, Mondo Fizzboy, they are just trying to get inside the zone. Now, there will be a team in front of them which they currently do not know about. So, this could be really disastrous for them. They're all in the open, no cover whatsoever. And all the opponents seem to have figured out that the players of NBeSports are out in the open. I don't know why DRS is not standing up and taking the shots. Finally, they do, but that's an Uzi for Killer. And now Killer gets counter spotted down, and Fizzboy is very accurate. Man, I do not understand what's up with DRS. The point that they should have gotten up and got those knocks, it just went way past them, and now NB Sports are in a position where they can defend themselves.
However, it's not going to be super easy because NB Esports lose a couple of players as well. One has already been taken down completely, the other is already on the ground, and it's not looking like an easy revival point for them either. But both these teams are suffering losses after losses, and this fight is not going to be a win for either because going forward with lesser numbers is not going to be good enough.
Akash, poor guy just had 1 HP left. And he just had to make sure he does not fall off, but that's what happens. Akash goes down, although the cover is there. So Rude also get knocked out, and DRS are so very terrified of this battle for some reason that they're not even attempting it properly. They're not even covering for their players. And now Delta will be pitched upon from a different angle. Mondo tosses a raid, just wants it to throw out, wants to get that knock onto Delta, whereas the cover is being provided from the other player. DRS losing players one after the other, and even though they are the superior weaponry, there's an M4 in one of these players' hand. But they're losing to these Bisons and Uzis, that too in mid range. That's terrible. That's just terrible for the players of Team DRS.
Well, Team DRS definitely gets left with literally one single player, Gante, who is also not trying to withdraw from the fight at all, wants to deal just as much damage on the other side as they have taken on their own selves. But not being able to spot Akash is going to be something that is going to bother Gante slightly because there is very little HP on the guy. But in the meanwhile, Stalwart Esports losing another. Action gets taken down as well.
Action is down. But let's see if the revival comes in or not for the players of Oh, never mind. Stalwart just lost 2 more. So it's only 1 remaining player for Team Stalwart Esports. And that's not a good game. Now Mondo has already sprayed down Gante to very little HP. And even though Akash got knocked out again, the revival will be there and Mondo will make sure that the job is finished. That he's able to finally take down Gante. Gante is trying to pop that first aid in. There's a nade being thrown in from Gante, hoping to get that knock, although that's not the case. The counter rate should be good enough, even though it's very far away. It should inflict enough damage onto Gante to get that confirmation. I don't know how, but DRSs have been eliminated out of the map.
Well, DRS being eliminated out of this map now makes DRS fans slightly upset. In the meanwhile, though, IHC being at the top of the board. However, this is just for the time being, guys. Things change around here a lot. But in the meanwhile, Deadeye's guys, again, one of the teams that we've seen hit and miss constantly. Finally, in a fight with sister team DE Venom, let's see which team is going to be able to make the best out of this because Krita, the one with the most frags for D Venom in the last game, has already been taken out without any.
Yeah, Riley, if I talk about D Venom's Riley over here, so he wants to maybe just have this area hoping for this zone to end towards school so that he can survive and bring his team some points. Has support from Domi Rambo as well. But then Krita being eliminated this early on will definitely put a little bit of a pressure on them.
Well, let's see if this pressure is going to result in much. Because as of now, Deadeye's guys are going to survive in a position where Venom will not be able to walk in just yet. But T2K will have a third party opportunity that they can aim for whenever the fight sprouts. In the meanwhile, though, 4MB still having good enough position inside the circle, are going to be able to hold on for a while, are going to be able to pick and choose which time they want to start making their move in, and probably aren't even going to budge before the next circle gets, plotted on. As of now, though, Deadeye's guys deviating from the fight with the Venom and now trying to pick on 2 players of T2K. Interesting.
If these are just shots, I mean, you're just trying to scare away maybe your opponents, maybe just show them your presence, let them know you're here so that they do not push in this compound without caution. And uh, zones like these usually, take a hard shift, which it has already. Look at that. It's a very hard south shift, still giving a little bit of a leeway towards the players of Team 4MV, but it's better for 4MV to maybe use the bridge right now to rotate. Otherwise, after that, they'll have a tough time trying to get back inside the zone. I'm surprised to see though, like none of these teams put a bridge camp against Team 4MV at all. Not even in a single game. I've seen one of these teams trying to attempt the same. When you already know that there's a player, that there's a team who's so dedicatedly go towards military base, at least one of them should have tried to once set up the bridge camp and try to get those frags against 4MB. But nobody ever has. And once again, I'd say 4MB will get that free area for themselves. They will freely rotate towards the main island.
Well, this rotation is not looking very difficult to my eyes, and I think that is why I'm gonna stick to going with 4MB in this particular prediction. Again, today I'm really rooting for this team to take the chicken, to take themselves up back on the top. So I think you can be sure, rest assured, I'm gonna be picking 4MB every single time if they're alive.
Okay, 4MB. Now that's an interesting choice. Uh, I'd say, let me see. IHC, I really want to say IHC, but the way that they've been playing does not even make them worthy, I'd say. But
You have
guys,
HVDC in
no.
there.
NBeSports, still not inside the zone, but I think they have a fairly simple rotation overall. So I'll go with NBeSports.
Okay. Nice choice. The first match today was a final battle between NB Esports and 4MV.
Yeah.
Like it. Look at
I mean,
Stalwart still far away outside the zone.
it is just one single player, so I don't want to pick Stalwart this time around. The only problem with these other teams right now is, see, well, this zone, Deadies guy is great spot. What happens when the zone closes in? Now these double barn houses are one and done. So if you pick double barn houses somewhere around the third and the fourth zone, and if the zone is not on you, you're done for. There'll be players in front of your hill. There'll be players around shore. There'll be players where you're trying to rotate to. So it's the worst possible compound to have. But for some reason, Deadies guys have chosen this to play from. Yeah, well, if the zone continuously goes towards this barn house, then there's literally no other area which has cover around it. So the players will really have a jolly time getting all the frags. So it's a very high risk, high reward sort of a compound to have. That's why all these teams, especially in the compounds, yeah, well, I do not root for them right now.
Well, as of now, rooting for any other team is definitely not gonna be a very optimal situation considering the way you have explained your pick and choice. It makes perfect sense. But yeah, in this particular moment, Seal wanted to go ahead and pick up a fight with 4MB. Lost one player for no loss at all for the side of 4MB, and then got third partied by IAW. So Seal is gonna get their fate sealed off here. The next circle does not favor HVDC. Entry is going to be difficult. IHC not playing well anyways. Same can be said for JMEX. T2K still trying a little but not being able to make it. ASL moving forwards. SG might have a shot. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming might have a shot. But yeah, NBeSports still is gonna have a battle with them going forward, and I think one of them is already gonna get eliminated the moment that happens. But as of now, the circle constraints itself still having slight bit of military base onto itself.
Mhm.
Nice.
These circles are really, really interesting. But what is Team ASL doing right now? Did they not hear XMPL rotating? I mean, they did not seem to have any sort of smokes being thrown in to cover that particular angle. And now they are being just punched in the face because of it. Gangster has already been taken care of. Some more nades are being thrown in. And yes, you might be able to get the revival. But I'd say losing these two players is now imminent unless and until you're able to eliminate the whole squad of T2K.
Well, it does seem like so. But T2K right now is gonna be able to go forward easily as long as D Venom does not come in for a third party. In the meanwhile, though, Deadies guys also picking up their pieces of pie from ASL. With two players already lost, ASL survives with only two on board. That's not looking good. In the meanwhile, though, HVDC Sanchar gets knocked as well. That's a frag that we did not think will happen.
Yeah, well, Sachir is down on the ground and HVDC lost a player. Oh, Godless will just run over him. No way they just did that to him. Never mind, Sanchir will have to now maybe pick up the pieces and play according to it. P2K though, still excited to see how do they perform. Godless is still trying to find another player with the buggy, it seems to be. Finally, will stop, will reset, and then make a move inside the zone. Near the area of poaching, yeah, Potato Hills is where this fight is happening around. So they will try to maybe just get any number of frags that they can. Alex already pushes in, tries to get that knockout to Aero, but it is him who gets that first. Now Demo finally gets the trade, and HPDC a little bit too far away. Although Demo has very little HP remaining, but the cover from Godless is there. It all falls down to Ryuk, who goes in for the reset, who goes in for the revival instead of taking the battle.
Hmm. From here, it seems like HVDC, even after being the better team at the fight, is gonna lose to Runovers, is gonna
Huh?
lose to IHE. But wait a second, Ryuk, what?
The shotgun just reigns supreme. And now even though Demo is coming in from behind, Ryuk has a lot of HP to work with. The shotgun, it just does the job!
Wow.
Ryuk eliminates all the three players. What a great how did he get those shots, leave alone spotting? The shotguns work in that range too?
Beautiful. Beautiful. I think I got the play of the day already. And it's wonderful the way this game went, this fight went. But yeah, with that, Ryuk definitely took care of three, but it's still not gonna be the best position because he lost three in the process as well. And that means Ryuk is gonna be the only survivor from the side of HVDC, not putting them in a very great position. But I guess a good fight nonetheless. For MB in the meanwhile though. East is the only player surviving towards very close to the circle edge. The rest of the players still have to arrive to the party. And in talking about party, there's a lot of noise that's coming in from the side of the Venom taking care of IAW.
It was an interesting battle. I mean, I did not understand how they were not able to toss the first few nades, just bounce it off the wall. But hey, it did happen, and now 4MV, this battle against the players of Team T2K seems to be wiping out the entire squad. Just one left rig, and he's not even here. He's not even here to attend the party. So 4MV will be able to get all the frags, maybe get the revivals too, and will walk off as a squad of 4. Or maybe not, because I think they're leaving away one of the players. He's too far away to get that revival. He's not in a position to get revived. But they can, because Deadeye's guys do not have a window towards that particular area. So the revival is still possible. But one of the players of Team 4MV need to make a move. And I think Apex is attempting to get that revival onto East.
Well, East will soon be taken care of. For him, we will have all fours on ground. And in the meanwhile, it seems like there's going to be a lot of danger that T2K is fighting off with. Now the last player survives and he too has very little HP to work with, and in that process gets eliminated overall. So with the 6 frag points for 4MB and already a good enough position. In the meanwhile, if you talk about Stalwart, I think they had about 4 frags and then they lost 3 players if I'm not wrong. So already I think 4MB is looking like the better one on this particular map. But we'll figure out soon enough.
No, the thing is they've been able to eliminate T2K and T2K were able to eliminate ASL. So basically what has happened over here, this entire area has been cleared away by the players of Team 4MV. So their rotation up after this will be very, very easy. So that's a
True.
really good job done by them. Meanwhile, SKYLIGHTZ is trying to throw in some nades. Mafia Ninja's mollies connect onto Sekujin. He once again falls. And the players of SKYLIGHTZ are just circling around NBeSports and taking them down one by one.
Well, now that NBeSports is not gonna be able to play this one, they are gonna have to wait for another chance, another better day. In the meanwhile, though, that takes your prediction out of the game, and look at the way the circle has become. 4MB is gonna have a very easy entry into the circle. However, after entering, getting hold of the compounds is gonna be difficult. But then again, if the circle does not favor the compounds, it's not even gonna be worth the while to go ahead and get them. I think 4MB looks very promising right now.
They certainly do. 4MV is in a real good spot over here. Now, Deathstorm spawns the last remaining player of NBeSports Akash, but yeah, well, for now, Akash will be able to get inside the zone. Question is for how long? I don't think so long enough. He'll probably be eliminated by one of these players of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. But right now, King of Spades on our screen, all 4 players surviving, 24 meters still to get inside the zone. Meanwhile, Lima just takes care of the last remaining player, and with that, we have the elimination of NBeSports in the process.
Well, NBeSports gets taken down. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming still survives, though I had told you to pick them. They were a better choice. But well, no worries. I'll keep the victory to myself. Does not bother me. JMEX though losing players to SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, adding to their overall kill feed, and also making things difficult for themselves because JMEX has no placement points so far. Sorry, no frag points so far, and even in placement points, they might hardly be able to get a couple because they're losing players one after the other in a fight which is actively happening at this particular moment.
Yep, Frag right now is in a spot over here, but what? Apex just fell to his knock.
Why?
And now that the revival is also not possible
He's also outside
because
the circle,
nobody
yeah.
would follow the player of 4MV towards that position. Unless it's a knock from a moving vehicle, I don't see a way for him to come back. Yeah, that's it. Apex just gets eliminated. So 4MV, they had all the advantages they needed, but suddenly are in a deficit. And Deadeye's guys, they're also taking some shots. Shifu gets that knockout to Ace. The trade is good, yes. But how do you get that revival is my question over here because he's completely out in the open.
Well, being able to revive East is going to be difficult. So I guess getting done with the fights first is going to be the aim for 4MV. Smoking out the area is going to be one way to do this. 3 smokes are available for Baron. He might be deploying them soon enough. And there are cover smokes from other teams as well, which are somehow becoming beneficial for the side of East. Now, while that revival happens, there's going to be a lot of requirement for cover from the side of Doc. And in today's performance, he's the one person that I've seen get knocked most. So if he is not able to hold his fort, it will not be a 4MV game. They were looking like the most promising team on the boards as of now, but then after losing Apex, I can't stick to the same. Still gonna support them though.
Let's see. Baron right now tossing a few smokes of his own. Shifu sir has been spotted down, so that's another player that has been taken into consideration by the players of Team 4MV, and the nades will probably help to take down Precious sir. A little bit of third-party shots coming in onto Dog, but that does not matter because he's already landed a perfect nade onto Precious sir and will be able to take back the control of the shack.
Well, with that control, Precious Sir will get taken completely off, and Deadeye's guys will be eliminated. Now it's the top 7 teams in which it seems like SKYLIGHTZ Gaming and 4MB might be the top contenders. King of Spades, great team, well playing, but still is gonna be way far away from the circle 1, and 2 hasn't gotten the momentum just yet today.
Around the shore. Now we also have the players of D Venom down there, down below. So let's see 4MV. How do they deal with how do they deal with them? Because now essentially every team has to come towards shore. This zone has been in water for so very long that all these teams will have to fight on the ground. Maybe come towards the players of Team JMEX and essentially towards 4MV, who really have a good spot in the entire zone. And if this can also end up in water, and if that happens, it's a really interesting game to see. Now a nade being tossed out by Sleepy, hoping to get a knock, is not able to do anything about it. Chari being spammed inside the smoke. Deathstorm just pushes in, gets that frag out of Sleepy and will be able to confirm it instantly as well. Faisal shot from behind. Those are some third-party shots, I believe, from the players of Team SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. But there's still a snake in the grass. There's still an earthworm around. You really need to dig him out, otherwise he'll spoil the party for you.
Well, picking ASL Domination Cruise, Chari is gonna be definitely up on that priority list. But in the meanwhile, 4MB from a huge distance is able to pick 2 players from the side of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, and SKYLIGHTZ Gaming loses all the advantage. Being able to revive those players is gonna be hard enough, and then the circle pushing in is gonna be another thing to deal with.
It seems like SKYLIGHTZ Gaming are just the spray magnets over here. Random spray through the smokes is getting the job done for this team. Could not complain though about it because hey, this is the part of the game. You really need to be considerate about this. You can maybe toss a few more smokes, but they really won't help you a lot. Naruto though, Has that angle onto Chari. Throws in some shots but does not connect any.
Finally gets slight bit of damage, but is gonna give enough room for Chari to go ahead and repair himself to come back into this fight. But then once the zone starts pushing in, Chari won't have much that can be done. So Chari is not gonna be one bother. And in the meanwhile, 4MV taking complete care of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. 12 points already on board for the team, and they are also gonna be nowhere lower than 4th position, which books at least 16. Which, by the way, if you know the math, is like 4 times of what Stalwart Esports has right now.
Yeah, they're still surviving. So that's one good thing that IC has done. At least kept his life till now. Let's see how far can he get though. That's the biggest question. I'm surprised to see 5% chance according to me for the IC it's 0. But the other team right now, King of Spades with 30% chance. That's only because of the numbers that they have.
Yep.
But how do they use it? That's my biggest question because even JMEX is still in the contention.
Currently, position wise, it seems like 4MV in the best position, and now they are also taking off players from the side of King of Spades. One more gets taken down, and now if the revival doesn't happen, it's gonna be an easy story. However, the positioning on King of Spades makes it possible for the revival to happen. But I still keep my bet onto 4MV because Deathstorm is gonna be one person who I can, expect to nade himself.
Okay. Well, the King of Spades have to move inside this 6th zone. So that is also something you'll need to consider. Plus, Baron is ready for a player in water. I mean, he just wants any frag that he can get right now. That's what Baron is trying to do because he's already gotten 6. Wants some
That
more.
player in water is icy.
Yeah, I know. But the hunting is not going to be that easy. Now,
That's true.
Doc already knows that the players of King of Spades have already made it in, but they know that they'll have to fight it out against the players of
Oh,
DE
wow.
Venom, because of which he is very happy about it. Now, the trades have happened. Riley has another nade in his hand. Faisal will just dodge it out. Riley wants to throw another one out, but little does he know that the player has already walked in very, very close. He's from behind, gets a knock onto Deathstorm. Riley has a shotgun. As soon as he hears this healing coming in, the information should be relayed. He should have pushed in, but Faisal still survives.
Well, with that, it will be another elimination from from 4MV onto DE Venom and one onto King of Spades as well, making it a much easier opportunity for 4MV to actually win because now King of Spades is losing players and that too in a position of no recovery. Deathstorm cannot be taken back onto the game. It's going to be a hard run for the remaining 3. And it seems like 4MV is ready for another chicken of the day with more than 10 kills on their boards. I am so happy right now, friends. I cannot even express it.
Alright. KS, one by one, they're just falling down. Naruto is the only guy who could have really done something about this angle that Doc has, and now will be forced out in the open. Doc himself is in a little bit of a trouble because the zone is also pushing him out. Deathstorm gets taken down. East though
no.
has been taken away. Now Naruto, can he pop this? I don't think so. He has time. So probably not being inside the zone. He will be taken down though by Baron, and the frag will be instantly
wow.
confirmed as well. And the revival onto East is also very possible. So 4MB will have all their 4 players back up and running.
3.
The only squad that they'll have to take care is the one of JMEX. I don't think so. That'll be a very big problem. But the thing is,
Not
look at
at
this.
all.
4MB, the zone is not in their favor. This time
The zone
around,
is
they
not in
just
the
might have
favor
to.
of JMEX though.
Yeah, but both these teams will have to dive in the maybe dive in the water. But no, I think Doc has such a cheeky little angle inside the zone. The next 90 seconds is going to be fun for the players of Team 4MB.
Exactly, and with all 3 alive and having the gunpowder that 4MV does have, it's not going to be one fight that JMEX can win, and they also understand that. So they're going to shift their aim towards King of Spades as of now, which makes things easier for 4MV. Stalwart Esports, IC still survives somehow though, but it's going to be a far reach for him to actually make it back into the circle, and even though the circle is going to be pushing 4MV eventually, the first team that will be in danger is going to be JMEX, and I don't think JMEX is ready for that damage just yet because they have been looking pretty desperate to find a frag onto 4MV and it's just not looking possible as of now.
Yeah, frag gets taken down. And now look at this. They're just throwing vehicles inside water. They want to play it out for survival. Lexi is already in. Nobody is trying to get that knock. Frag just gets completely eliminated, and one by one, all these players are going out of battle. Baron has spotted down Lexi. The spray does not connect. Lexi gets that time to get the reset away. He is still trying to spray it out, but Faisal from behind just blasts the vehicle and also has a good area inside the zone. So I think King of Spades are still not out of it. Nobody spotted down. Nobody taken care of. King of Spades still in the game.
Well, not for long, I think. Not for long, buddy. Because I think with 15 defeat points, 4MV with that Molly is going to be able to take care of King of Spades. They won't be able to walk out of that compound. The nades can land right in, and that's going to be a good enough spot. King of Spades gets taken
GG.
down. Now it's a 3v1 between 4MV and Stalwart Esports. This does not look good at all. IC is gonna get taken down by Blazer itself, and that's another chicken for 4MV today itself. 2 chickens. He wanted this team to come back up. They did. They have served you with the entertainment that the viewers were waiting for and have gotten themselves the chicken dinner. Beautifully done. Explicably amazing performance. I'm gonna have to look up for a lot more adjectives to use to describe this team. And by the way, Fritz, if you look carefully, the overall rank looks like 1. Wow. Didn't expect that, did you?
Make it clap.
Alright guys, welcome back after a short little break. I know Anna, I'll just give it to you. We are back after a short break and Anna has something to tell you guys.
Okay, for everyone, once and then twice, and then they've toppled everyone on the overall leaderboard, and your team lost, and I'm up on the prediction board. So I think this calls for a celebration, and the only thing I can do right here, right now, is gonna be
So it's fine. 4MV did play out good and is finally able to get that victory for themselves. And that's a great victory. Had a good number of frags too, so that will also definitely play in their favor. The weekly ranking is also something now I'm interested to see, because how many points do they climb back up? What they got 40, 45 points, or maybe even 50 points.
they had 28 already before this game, and in this game they got about, I guess, 27. So 27 and 28, that's about 45 years. I mean, no, wait, 55. Wow, that's a lot. You wanted 60 in 2 days, buddy. Will give it to you in 1 day.
Yeah, with one more game remaining too. So they'll have another game that they'll play on this, I think Erangel only. Or maybe Sanhok is one.
Sanhok. Yes.
No, they sit out the last game.
Wait, they don't play the last game, so they're gonna be playing one more Erangel. Yes.
So another Erangel. So it could be a hat trick coming in from 4MB in terms of getting those chickens for themselves.
Might very well be. But yeah, the top players, look at this. 8 eliminations from Baron, 4 from East, 3 from Doc, 2 from Apex. That's 17 eliminations right there. Wow.
27 points overall. That's a great game. That's a really great game for the players of Team 4MB to bounce back in. And let's have a look at the match summary as well. But little does it matter, man, because we already know it'll be all 4MB. Even the healing is being taken by East. So great game, man.
I do see IC
one
right
of a
there
kind
in
game
healing
for
as
4MB.
well. Okay, congratulations. Good job for IC as well. Not gonna take anything away from the guy. He made sure that the team came all the way to second position. But for everyone, let's go to the match ranking now.
I mean, 4MB, great job. But it's okay. They still have to continue this sort of a performance. King of
Oh, the
Spades on the
difference
other
is
hand.
almost triple. Nice. I like
Yeah.
it.
King of Spades on the other hand, 11 points overall. Followed by Stalwart Esports with 10, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming as 7. So, I mean, we cannot even expect other teams to perform when one single team shows such dominance in the entire game. Everyone just else falls on what 5, 6, 7 points, and on page 2 have the highest is 4 that HVDC had in terms of elimination. So yeah, that's about it. See, Leo, all these teams will have to perform good in the next upcoming game.
Absolutely, if they get the opportunity, obviously, because like the way 4MB is playing, I don't think that's gonna be a possibility so quickly. But yeah, let's take a look at the overall standings because now looking at that makes a lot of sense because it does not have Stalwart at top. It does in weekly it does. Okay, never mind. It
It's still a climb, but 28 points. So
not that big.
yeah, it's not that big. Plus, Stalwart is also not performing as we expected them to. So it'll be a difficult thing. HVDC though, back on the second spot, or were they still there? I clearly do not remember. But it's good for HVDC as well to be in that spot. Mabetex, if we talk about them, 11th position, not the best possible standings overall. Venom D with 74, IHC with 71. So on this is the problem though. On this basis, we will have the teams, playing the bonus game. So this is where you need to be in top 12.
Absolutely. Top 12 is gonna be the one you need to aim for because considering the bonus game, we only have one more day to go, and for most teams, only one more map to play. So that's something that teams need to be careful of. But yeah, the one that's coming up is gonna be the TDM. And today, if I am correct, then we are gonna be seeing the map of the teams that show up on the brackets.
Yeah, it's the game is between NBeSports and Stronger FAKELOVE. STFL. It has been long before. I mean, it has been long to see them play. They haven't been coming in top 5, top 6, and usually they get eliminated very early on. NBeSports though, they did have a good game today. The first game, the map of Miramar was a little bit better as compared to any other one. But other than that, NBeSports has also been lacking a little bit overall. So we'll have to see NBeSports how do they play this TDM out, because this also has a prize pool of $1,000.
Exactly, and if you come up first, you get 700. If you come up second, you get 300. Both are good numbers to have for yourself because, I mean, it's money after all. Money is good. Money is nice.
That's true. So all these players will be playing their hearts out. The only thing I want is this to be a quick game and not to be a one where you
no
again
camping.
have players holding, just making sure they have a crossfire and hoping that their nade connects. That's the only way they get their frank. So just let's avoid those sort of games. STFL probably they will go guns blazing. They'll have to take those fights even though they lose most of them, but it's okay. They still have to take the fight. That's enough for us to see them.
Well, we'll see soon enough how these fights go. Nades have been deployed in the beginning itself, and both teams get one for themselves.
Early trades does not really matter because unless and until you're able to send the entire team back once to get that lead, the trades are always welcome. STFL though get an untraded frag. So NBeSports is maintaining that sort of a composure over here. Want to just hold their line, maybe play for the W.
I don't really like the very holdback game when it comes to TDM itself. But let's see how much gunpowder that's gonna be able to bring. You see, you wait for that long, you get a frag, you get traded. Rather just take the fight and get traded. It's the same thing. Like Stronger FAKELOVE is not holding back, and they're still, looking like the ones who are able to acquire the lead as of now. So I guess going ahead and taking the fight, being brave and stupid at the same time, is the way to go for TDM because this is TDM after all.
NBeSports, for a second there was a 3-point lead overall. I've been able to bring it back to 2. And STFL as well, they are also just going in for the slow little approach. NBeSports also just camping around corners. The Grozas are out though. Yesterday, one good thing about the TDM was we only had M4s for all the team. Probably a mutual understanding. But this time around, barrels, Grozas all around the board, just shots which should not hit. Like Mondo should have been taken down over here. But just because he had a Groza and was able to land that first headshot, he's just able to win the entire duel.
Absolutely. Mondo with that frag, however, did acquire an equalizer, and now NBeSports is trampling
Team
onto
setback.
Stronger FAKELOVE. They have gotten themselves the lead and they are gonna be going forward with it.
Yeah, that's the team sendback that I was talking about. That you
Yep.
need to send one of these fights. You take it as a 4v4 and you try to send your opponent completely back into their spawn. And that's what NBeSports were able to win it out. And suddenly, Stronger X FAKELOVE, they have 5 down in terms of number.
Well, as of now, it seems like the numbers are definitely favoring NB Esports, and the way they are playing this is definitely getting them results so far. Look at the teamwork they're going on with. 7 point lead already. 8. Make it 8.
Hmm. Mondo gets taken down, but the trade should be there. it's with an 8.
Nice.
It does not really matter though. Sekujin gets taken down. The Reefers moving in, gets another frag onto a cast down the warehouse, and suddenly the lead has just been reduced to which was earlier 7, now brought down to 5. But you still need to get some more. Fist Boy continuously being bombarded. The jump spot, the player has been spotted down. The growth around the corner, and a little bit help from the other side of the warehouse will get another frag for STFL.
Well, NB Esports right now struggling slightly with STFL on the way to make their comeback happen. And it seems like it's very close to the equalizer. One single point, equalizer achieved, and now it seems like both the teams are back to the trade game.
Wow, what a great move coming in. I mean, I think it was Senor, right? Who just went into their spawn and was able to get a couple, or was it
Yep.
Dobu? No,
I
one
think
of
it was
these
Senor.
players just went in. First gets the frag on the left hand side concrete, then into the warehouse, and then gets a couple more inside the train area too. So that's a very good way for STFL to first of all cut down the lead and get themselves back up. Maybe it's just a 1 point, but it's still there.
Well, it's definitely a comeback, like all the way from being behind by 8 points to coming back in a lead of 1 point is a great move from Stronger FAKELOVE. But they do gotta continue the momentum to make sure that the victory happens, because so far both the teams have acquired more than 50% of their goal target. But going forward is gonna be what decides on whether or not you win the game. The lead again rolling in for the favor of NB Esports. Single-handedly from the side of NB Esports, it seems like Fist Boy was able to squeeze the lead back in, but Stronger FAKELOVE still trying to make their comeback.
Ooh, Akaz gets taken down. I thought he would be able to get one more frag before being eliminated. Now Sekujin is running low on ammo. needs a little bit of a drop from his maybe teammate. But yeah, NBS was getting the lead back up. STFL instantly answer back with the barrel. The off angle, the cheeky off angle was being attempted over here by FaceBoy, but he spots Reefers. That's good too. Gets another frag for himself. The trades are happening, but still NB in a little bit of an advantage.
Well, definitely there is advantage rolling in the favor of NB, and now NB Esports with one single point in advance is gonna be looking good for now, but the equalizer can come in at any time. They gotta be very aware of that. 10 more points for both the teams to hit the match point.
Senor goes in for the
nice.
spray and is able to connect it out. So Sekujin falls, but the trade is there. And once again, NB Esports, they are just pushing in. And a little bit of an over-aggression being thrown in from STFL. Dobu, yes, he's able to get that frag for himself. But the problem is, how does he escape? Answer, cannot. NB, find a couple of points late. The shots onto Senor were also very, very accurate. Gets them the 3-point lead. And just 6 away from closing out this game. The need to help his teammate out is not able to do so. But the trades are always present for NB Esports. A 4-point lead. I think this game is still in the favor of NB.
I wouldn't just go there yet, because it seems like Stronger FAKELOVE is also trying to come back in. It's only a 2-point difference, and we've seen a couple of comeback games happen so far. So I'm just not gonna decide onto a victor just yet. But Stronger FAKELOVE losing more players is gonna be difficult, because not only do you drop one, you also give a little bit of wiggle room for the other team to actually come in onto you and start acquiring those track points. This time there's slight standstill, which is pushing NB Esports way back, because they don't want the lead to be taken away from them. But that is putting them in a passive stage.
Ooh. Oh. For some reason, NB Esports, the aggression was working for them, but they hold back onto it. I think the 2 frags that STFL were able to get prior to this engagement were the reason for it. Akaz has been dropped down to very little HP, so there's no trade potential as well, because you all went alone. Pomondo gets that pick onto Bekujin. Now this battle becomes even more important, but Refus is able to win it out. The trades happen. One more frag for Sekujin is all Team NBeSports need. Or any of the players. If they're able to get one, that's about it. STFL need 3. All the players just sticking together for NB. Right inside Sekujin, just jump spots for information, gets nothing at all. 2 minutes 30 seconds on the clock. Do they just drain the time? Or does Mondo has a good nade that connects onto the player of STFL and wins them the game?
Well, might very well be the situation because NBeSports literally needs just one more point. But in the meanwhile, wait a second, did they just give up one? Did they just give up one? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And now the nades are coming in, but the damage is not yet found because STFL is not going to be giving up that quickly, that easily. 3 more points for STFL to win this, and only one needed for NBeSports.
They can just push in and force for a trade over here, NB, is what I feel. I mean, it is definitely a little bit risky. But hey, I think you can be able to achieve it. You should be able to achieve it. You have been doing it for a very long period of time. All 4 players just gather around the right side, just push in together and get the final frag. Sekujin is just holding for the right hand side information against STFL, and Dobu is also not coming in over here. And NB just around the corners, pre-firing, hoping to catch any glimpse, hoping to catch any sort of damage and then capitalize on it. But yeah, nobody from STFL either overpeaking. But I think NBeSports will be happy with this because 1 minute 20 seconds is what they have to waste to get the victory for themselves.
Exactly. However, getting a couple of points is going to be the necessity for the side of STFL. In the process, they overpeak, and there it is. NBeSports Sekujin is going to be able to finish the game off with a victory for NBeSports.
Good job done by NBeSports. I mean, they played it slow. For a second, I thought they might just lose because the league was against them. But then they're able to, first of all, just completely counteract the lead and get the final frags for themselves. The final blow came in too delayed, it felt like, but it's okay for NBeSports. The way that they were playing was just phenomenal. They win it out and will be moving on from here on to the next and another game of Erangel.
Yep, and I am waiting to see how this goes because today has been a fun day. I like today. Today is my favorite day. Even the weather outside is really good. Today is a great day.
Yeah, well, 4MVs again are going to be a team that Anna will be looking out for on this map of
I'm gonna be very
Erangel.
loyal today.
Oh, okay. So even if they just have one player surviving when the prediction comes in, you'll pick 4MV, right?
Yeah. Unless the team is completely eliminated, I will pick 4MV.
Okay. So even a single player pushes 4MV to predict. Okay.
Even that one player is almost knocked, I will pick 4MV.
Got it. So I think it eases the job for Echo Boy, our producer. I mean, it's easy job for him. He can just lock in that particular image in front of your name whenever the prediction screen comes in. So it's only me who he has to ask because I will again go for a different prediction every time. But yeah, let's have a look at the schedule as well. What we've been through today. The first map of Erangel won by 4MV. Mabetex did take the map of Miramar, but after that, as soon as we come back to Erangel, it's again another map for 4MV. Let's see if they're able to repeat it thrice though. That's the thing. Third time's always a charm. But is it for 4MV? That's something we're waiting to find out.
Hat trick.
Okay, that's what you were hoping for. I mean, it's okay. Let's see 4MV if they're able to finally get that hat trick for themselves or not. But hey, let's just jump into battle.
Stalwart is toppled. If they do that, Stalwart is toppled. Stalwart won't sustain the first position for themselves if 4MV is able to squeeze this victory.
Alright, if you say so, I'll believe you. But it really does not. I really don't care at the end of the day because I know that
you only
Stalwart
care
Esports
till
will
you're
be out
winning.
on
Once
top.
you start losing, you don't care.
Yeah, that's how life should be. That's how the game should be for all these teams. But this time around, it is a difficult playing path for 4MV. They'll still go to military base, there's no doubt about that. But this will be a difficult playing path. It's a very central one. So starting from Milta Power, ending all the way up to Georgopol, most of the cities will be approachable. I say even Kameshki for a limit is a place that you can drop on. But yeah, extremities will be a little bit difficult to achieve. Areas like Primorsk, Sosil will be in a little bit of a pickle. Area like military base towards the edge of the zone. So all these teams will face a little bit of difficulty dropping in, but I think they'll still try and attempt to drop in their usual drop spots.
Well, we'll discover soon enough if the teams are gonna have a good enough position, because the plane part definitely determines a lot of things, but then the most threatening part comes once the circle shows up. So let's wait a second and find out where the circle is gonna be and find out which team is gonna have to suffer a lot. Because if the circle goes all the way towards Siverny like last time, then the chances of hat trick for 4MB will dip really low. It's a huge rotation, and during rotation fights somehow take them by surprise sometimes, but only sometimes. Wait a second, what? Nice circle. I love this circle. This is a great circle. It's all the way in the center. Does not have Giorgio Paul in it, but still has slight bit of the hills. Even though I don't think they're gonna sustain till the end, it's only gonna be for a while. They have a slight little bit of the military base as well. Most of the major areas are covered.
It's a central zone, so all of these teams will be happy with the zone, especially HVDC, man. They literally have the center of it. Should not be a problem for them to get any sort of rotational clash in their favor, because they'll have so good loot. Plus, there'll be a lot of teams trying to rotate from the area of Pochinki. You'll have Leo, you'll have Seal, you'll have JMEX. They'll all try to rotate from somewhere around Pochinki, so that'll be a very good thing. Meanwhile, Stalwart Esports towards nowhere up now. Okay, back to basics. Probably want the best possible loot, because that is something that they were not getting around that region of Gatka. So yeah, for now, so just sitting tight. Meanwhile, 4MV just dropped around the road in front of military base. We'll find a vehicle and then move towards their drop spot.
Let's see. Stalwart is Esports this time being in Novorep is gonna be slightly disturbing for the side of 4MV, considering that Stalwart now again would want to get in the way of the team, because that's what they like to do with 4MV. But soon enough, we'll see how 4MV is gonna deal with that. But in the meanwhile, Leo already losing a player all by themselves without even having to ask for someone else to participate. And that comes in as a free benefit for the side of Seal, because they will seize another one. Even though there's a trade, it seems like Seal is going to be on the beneficial side of it, because Leo's player has been eliminated completely while Seal's still is only knocked.
Yeah, see, Fearless will be revived. And this was an attempt, maybe try to stop the vehicle and getting out of it. That's the reason he tried to just jump away and maybe jump out, get that frag, jump back up, run away. That's what that could be the thought procedure, but was not able to execute it out. So yeah, attempts for me it won't be as helpful as they would like to have it.
Well, going forward from here, it is going to be slightly difficult for the side of Leo itself. But let's see. Let's see how this turns around for the team, because it's not good to lose a player that early in the game, and that too when you're close to having your games for the day. They only have one more after this. Some teams have none, so it's gonna be difficult for the teams that have their last game going on right now for the day, because then we move right into this next day for these teams, Sunday, which is a fun day, but it also is the last day to qualify for the bonus match. HVDC though, currently again in their own pleasurable place, very scattered, but then again does not have anything to worry about. Nobody is disturbing them as of now. They're just chilling around. Same can be said about Mabetex Esports. They have multiple areas under control, Mansion as well as Lipovka. And if you talk about King of Spades, they have biggest area of the map, best city to loot in, Georgiapol.
Well, they do have the biggest area, but the problem is, I mean, even after that they're able to loot, they've not been able to make the most out of the situation.
That's true.
So King of Spades, let's see. I mean, just I can only be hopeful for them, hopeful for the best possible game, and let's see if they're able to deliver it or not. Now HVDC on the other hand, Rio Croaks and Chirero, all of these players around the city of Pochinki just hoping to have that loot and then rotate from this particular position as soon as possible, if the zone forces them to, that is. So the next 3 minutes are going to be dead like this. There won't be a lot of fights happening around, or at least I hope so, unless one of these teams decide to just push into the other one. I don't think so. We'll have a lot of fights happening around the board.
Hmm. Well, let's see. It seems like there's gonna be a standstill for a while. We aren't gonna see many teams participate into fights, and that makes Leo the one and only team with the biggest disadvantage for a really long time. Because as of now, the positioning on the teams looks good enough. The circle is huge enough to support all the teams finding their own areas and coexisting. Let's see how it goes. Stalwart Esports this time did not try to initiate a fight with 4MV. They just picked their loot, cleared up the area of Novorepnoy, and now are moving in from the Novorepnoy bridge. Good choice, well done. But I still gotta figure out if they're actually making the move or if they're waiting on to hold the bridge, because I don't know. I mean, I don't think holding the bridge is gonna be any beneficial. Yeah, they have started moving in. So Stalwart will be moving in towards the side of Milta and Farm. Would be an easy pick for them going on to ASL, but 4MV is still chilling around. They love having late rotations, and that's exactly what they're gonna do.
They sit out the first entire circle
Yeah,
outside the blue, and they have bandages for it to just compensate for the damage. So it's a good strat. I mean, you let the opponent team settle down, and then when you try and find a good space inside the zone for you, you know that the third party will be a little bit less likely as compared to if you early try to rotate in the zone. So that's a really good thing that the players of 4MB do. And yeah, let's see if they're able to make the most out of this particular zone, considering that if they rotate using their military base bridge, it should be an easy rotation. JMEX they stood there for a little bit, but then have also started their rotation. Seal as well, sort of copying what 4MB do, but let's see how well do they execute it. They still are sitting around Primor, still completing their loot, whereas one of their players has gone all the way south of Query to get some more loot for himself. So he's in a very
north of
western
Query.
side area. I mean, you look at like, okay, does not matter.
That is
Overall,
north.
towards
Up is
the west
north.
of, very
Yeah,
west of Query.
yeah.
So that's where that's where he'll be able to get some good loot for himself and should easily be able to rotate away from that position.
True. This time I think 4MV is not gonna wait out the first circle. They're gonna wait out the second. I think they're just gonna stay on the slight little area of military base that is still inside the circle, chill there for a bit, wait for the second circle to come in, and that's when they'll rotate. They're still not aware of whether or not Stalwart Esports went in, so some of the players are still taking the damage of the blue, but I think they'll have enough recovery available to themselves considering they're on military base and that place is rich in loot. But yeah, the new circle is definitely gonna leave a military base completely out of it and is not gonna have much water area to it. So now is when things start getting populated, and now is when we start seeing fights. Venom DE already having the crosshairs set onto DRS, giving a third party opportunity to ASL. But if you ask me, ASL shouldn't participate. Should not.
On the other hand, we just saw D Venom getting that free frag, literally free onto the DRS guy.
Yep.
Now, I don't know what he was doing over here outside the compound, or did he expect the players of Team D Venom to be in this spot? But the bottom line is he was not ready. In a very similar spot, they lost their entire squad the previous time around. So, really surprised to see them make the same mistake again. Meanwhile, Raw Esports, two of the players were very tagged out, and finally, Jiggle gets taken down. And that's from a player of T2K. So the fights have started, and Raw Esports not looking good. I mean, they have one frag. They have also taken down another player from Team HVDC. But getting the revival is the main concern that I see for the players of Team.
Well, as of now, it seems like Sky from the side of Raw Esports will be able to get a frag for himself. And Stalwart Esports in this fight against DE Venom is gonna be suffering some damage themselves, even though they are able to deal out enough to the opposite side as well. Having any shots taken on yourself is not gonna look good, Stalwart, because right now there's a lot of gap that you need to create. Oh, Seal and 4MV both outside the blue. Will they fight?
This could be a position where they will. I mean, the rotation will definitely clash overall. So let's see if 4MV stop and try to take that battle, because they will be the first ones inside the zone. Meanwhile, if we talk about still Raw, they are able to get that revival and are pushing on to Aero now. That's an interesting decision. Aero, poor guy, was still trying to climb up on top of the house, and suddenly he sees 4 players of Team Royal. He's like, guys, that's a big F. That's a big L for me.
Well, with that loss, HVDC already is looking for a tough fight going forward because we did see Rogue and Aero being the ones pioneering for the team today. Realizing 4MV is close by, Seal literally went for a standstill. They're not even moving in anymore. They're waiting for 4MV to relocate and then they're gonna take their chances because this fight is something they were already aware they could not have won. They realized that in this particular position, if you're seeing a team, it has to be the one coming from military base, and even they know that 4MV takes late circle rotations, so that could be the situation now. Because yeah, I've already said it's gonna be 4MV for me. It's up there already. However, if yeah, I'm not, even if I could have chosen, I would go with them because in this circle, it still seems like they're gonna have a great position.
I uh okay. I think Stalwart have all their 4 players surviving, right?
I think
So
one
I'll
of
go
them
with
got,
them.
I think one of them got taken down. Either just got knocked or got fragged out. But one of them did take a lot of damage from HVDC.
Ooh, okay. But
Oh,
yeah,
they
on the
all
minimap.
four survive. Yeah, all
Okay,
four
so on
survive.
the on the minimap I did see all of them surviving. So I'll go with Stalwart, no problem whatsoever. Should be a game that they're able to win it out. And in that battle against the players of JMEX, yeah, well, I only can hope that they do not lose a player. But okay, never mind. Action is already eliminated. Ha.
Ah, sad for
But I'll
you.
still go with Stalwart Esports. I think they still have it in them to maybe get a chicken dinner with all the 3 players over here.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I agree with you so much.
Okay.
In the meanwhile, though, JMEX and DRS fighting off against each other, and one player from the side of Seal marching right between the players of 4MB. This scout has to relay the information as quickly as possible because the rest of the team approaching must be scared as of now. 4MB, however, going for a longer rotation, might be able to enter from the side of raw officials, or actually entering from mention would be a great option, but I don't think they're gonna go there. Nobody is gonna go there. That's way too long of a rotation.
Seal though, I think they're opting for the long rotation. They just might enter maybe from the side of school and then take a hard ride. Yeah, that's what they're doing. From school, they'll take a hard ride, maybe see the players of Team Roy Sports and then run away. But will find themselves a good spot. Now T2K has taken out a dip. That concerns me because that dip is really needable. You can easily throw some good nades onto that dip and be able to get easy elimination for yourself. On the other side, if you look at D Venom, now Krita, he is in a spot where he can spot down the players of team DEADEYES CMF. Even 4MV will be a team to be worried about. So let's see how do they play about this right now, D Venom. Because 4MV they love to just scout out their entire area before taking it for themselves.
That's true. 4MV, while scouting, did give up information to the players of DE Venom, and now DE Venom knows that this fight is not worth starting. But once they see players of bad intentions running away, they march on. And now it's a free invitation for 4MV to go ahead and acquire their third party tracks. DE Venom, in the fight with bad intentions, is attracting attention, and in the meanwhile, Deadeye's guys is also picking some.
Yeah, from up above, BID, one of the players has been taken down by 4MV and Dante also falls off. So D Venom, they get a little bit of a helping hand from the players of Team 4MV, but will now have to fight it out against maybe Krita all alone. He's the only one who seems to be interested over here. And Apex, I think it's better to disengage considering the zone is not in your favor. And let's see 4MV, how do they go about that? Do they still want to take the side because it's only 30 seconds what they'll get to get inside the zone, which is 300 meters away.
Well, as you said, they do scout out their area pretty well in the beginning itself. So I think they have a complete idea of where the players of DE Venom are gonna be. They picked off Rambo already. Krita is gonna be the next one that gets taken down, even though he is gonna be able to confirm East. He confirmed East. That's something that shouldn't have happened. There was backup available right there. Should have come into action instantly. Oh goodness. One player lost for the side of 4MV as well. So I guess we both are lingering on to the same exact table. It's just that I my team has more points to themselves.
Uh, th- I mean, yeah, the zone, even if they just go straight in, they will have the zone. But IC is trying to cut their rotation off, or maybe IC is trying to go outside the zone and have a look at what is happening around them. So Stalwart, they are near a compound, but this could be a little tricky for IC to deal with. Because right, oh, meanwhile, STFL in a fight, DEADEYES guys try to run the players of STFL over, which they successfully done. Beka has been taken care of, but Dobu gets the counter knock and is attempting the revival. Sussex, round number 2. Is it possible? No, it's just not, because third party comes in. Mabetex takes some shots and eliminates the entire squad of DEADEYES guys.
In the meanwhile, STFL still trying to revive the players. Raw Esports very close in vicinity. Might be charging down at any moment at all. STFL will not survive long either.
Oh, but look at this Dobu. He wants to fight it out with the shotgun that he has. Very little HP left for Seniori also falls. It's all down to Dobu and his shotgun, which won't be able to do much as Raw Esport. They execute a very good push onto STFL. Should be able to get at least one revival, but Sky is very far away. So Sky, getting that revival out of Sky is going to be a tricky thing. But let's see, Praveen is attempting to do it. But from far away, XMPL will make sure that does not happen and just T2K secure another frag.
STE and 4MV have come hand in hand. Soon enough, they're gonna be battling it out. Is it gonna be a fist fight, or is it gonna be one where they start taking their guns out is the question. STE, however, having the cover of a compound is gonna be in a very good position, but the height advantage rolls in the favor of 4MV as well. Tops is the one player they need to they need to be cautious of, but the rest of the team from the side of STE is not really in as much good of a situation as Tops is. So they would still find it hard to fight off against 4MV, and I think Tops soon will be forced out as well, as the circle keeps coming in closer and closer. T2K, however, in a good position to start a third party. So will they have a benefit yet?
We'll have to
Please.
we'll have to see about that. Although for some reason Tops just keeps on committing the buggy and taking it back. Now Nirzed throws a little bit of a hint towards the players over there. Some shots have been exchanged, but the cover fire from 4MV is just very good right now. Nirzed cannot find the knock. The push comes in from Beren, but now he falls. Nirzed lands the shot. Even Apex goes down, and it's a clean sweep maybe onto the players of team 4MV.
4MV got eliminated way too quickly with only 4 points to the board, and now it seems like Stalwart Esports is gonna be able to recover this position slightly. But I'm still not expecting a 27-point chicken dinner for Stalwart Esports to actually recover all the points that they've lost today. It's still gonna be a closer battle tomorrow. Look at that, they get eliminated as well. We are walking hand in hand today. It's just that I have a better prediction number now. It's a 3.
Yeah. T2K come in with a perfect third party, plus there was a little bit help from the players of Mabetex as well. So good job done by T2K getting those frags for them in this battle. Mabetex, though, they are still going on, and now it's a fight with the players of Raw Esport. Praveen falls, but the trade happens and Malik instantly finishes off the knocked out player. So Mabetex also just remain with 3 remaining.
I think this time Mabetex might be able to win this off completely. Even though they have only 3 players remaining now, they will be able to seal this fate for the side of Raw Esports. They've already taken 1 player down. They have already acquired 4 defeat points for themselves. It's not looking like a bad situation, and Mabetex might be able to win this one and put themselves back on the charts somewhere, because they were getting close towards the end of the week. Second week didn't go as well, so it's about time that Mabetex picks back up.
Okay, Mabetex, let's see. I mean, Wally is down on the ground for now, so the revival is going to be something that Mabetex will need to focus upon. Meanwhile, King of Spades, they do have a third-party angle on this, so if they really want to take some shots, maybe go in for a little bit of a spam, connect a few bullets, could be really beneficial for them. T2K, on the other hand, they did take one of these shelter entrances and have been able to block it off completely with their vehicles. But the revival on Love is the priority, which Rig is probably fulfilling. And after resetting, we will see how does Team T2K perform.
Well, Turulav is right now, I think, already revived and he will be able to go forward into the game. Now that we have only 8 teams remaining, there's a lot of real estate that they can, acquire. Soon enough, though, we will see the circle shrink in, and if the circle still favors Mabetex, they can definitely have a winning shot. King of Spades looks good right now, but the momentum hasn't been in the favor of this team, so it might be slightly difficult for them to actually close this well. JMEX, though, they are investing in a fight against T2K. Now, I do not see this team initiating fights as much, but now that they have done one, I expect them to win this particular fight.
Ooh, okay, let's see. I mean, they have left one of these players, T2K, very far away. So this has been a case with T2K. I mean, I still remember two matches where that guy outside the zone falls, gets knocked out, and then there's no chance of a revival for T2K. How do you deal with that? I mean, for now, all your four players are inside the zone. That's great. XMPL is also inside the zone. But the thing is, XMPL is just a sitting duck. He cannot peek, he cannot fight because watching four different angles is not easy at all. Meanwhile, Sanchir is able to land a nade on one of his opponents of Team DRS and maybe even completely take him down, considering the HP bar is very little for that last remaining player. Yeah, DRS was also not having a good game now. Roy Sport on the other hand with just one remaining. Will be difficult to see how do they perform.
Well, with constant nades and mollies being thrown inside the tunnel, it seems like Sanchir will be having quite some difficulty going forward. This bunker is not gonna be giving them as much protection as they thought it would. But HVDC and Leo both inside. If the throwables get run out, then I feel like HVDC might have an upper hand into the fight. And look at that. King of Spades, I feel like they are going to be on the verge of extinction soon enough. Even though it's just one player that has been taken down, JMEX is going to be able to cleanly, take care of a couple more because they have great support from the side of Raw Esports, which is right there in the shelter entrance.
Oh, okay. Yetauta also connects the net onto Sanchir. That's a good knock to find for Yetauta. Meanwhile, Ryuk is also all out in the open just as a shotgun to work with. So that DBS, let's see how much value can it squeeze out. Leo on the
Throwables
other
will take
hand,
care of HVDC, I think.
oh, that seems to be a thing over here. Meanwhile, T2K is able to take down the
Oh,
entire
wow.
squad of JVX. A little bit of a third party from KS. King of Spades also performing good in this game. Just one. This is their very first frag, so I wouldn't entirely say good, but at least all their four players surviving.
I don't think they're gonna survive for long because coming into gunfights, they are definitely losing their, best game. So let's see if they're gonna be having as good of a time. I still feel like Mabetex has a better opportunity, even though T2K and King of Spades both survive with all fours. I still think Mabetex has a better shot.
Okay. HVDC though, still is fine. Sanchir has not been revived for some reason. He just runs from the smoke, gets back, gets towards his own teammates, so the revival will be now possible. T2K on the other hand have spotted down the players of Team KS, and XMPL has a really crazy angle through the windshield of this blasted down vehicle. Let's see how does he use it. Ryuk though, oh, he lets the player pass. He lets him come close. The DBS, he does not land the shots though. Malik, the last remaining guy, will be able to take the shots, get the frag, and get the job done.
Did not think this is something that I would hear anyone say in PUBG Mobile, that DBS does not land shots at some point of time. But we saw it happen in action. So that's about it. Raw officials also losing way too many players. Top 5 teams remain raw officials with literally just one single player. Mabetex with 3, 4 for T2K, and 4 for the side of King of Spades as well, which puts the total to 12, which means our 5th team has only 2 players. Leo being that.
Mabetex, so now they will be pushed in by the players of King of Spades because they really want to have this ground in control. But Volley with an 8 will he get a few knocks. Also has the ghillie suit, so that will help him just pro down anywhere he wants.
Oh,
Storm
no.
has already spotted one of the players. Volley goes down, but the trade is imminent. Giro gets that counter knock. Now Mamba has to go in for the revival, but the good thing for King of Spades, they have all their 4 players standing, and all these
Wow.
different angles are just being watched. Faisal gets that knock onto Leo, and Giro suddenly from an aggressive angle has been pushed down to a passive one.
Well, Mabetex now does not seem any good at all. This was a difficult situation and they could not hold on to it. The revival might happen for the side of Mabetex. T2K, however, still scoping out the area. Leo gets taken down completely from the side of Fazil, and now Wally and Jiro are going to be the only two surviving from the side of Mabetex. This takes their chances of victory down by a huge number. Now T2K and King of Spades look like actual promising contenders. Cannot count Leo out just yet though, because Leo again has been very good at the brain games when it comes to it. But if the shelter entrance does not stay inside the next circle, then Leo won't have a good time.
Meanwhile, look at this. Naruto is tossing a few nades onto the players of T2K who are trying to get that third party done. Now Rick suddenly spots Naruto with a nade in his hand, but still, oh, that nade. If it was overcooked a little bit, the knock could have been there. But Naruto with the AK, a 4x AK, what? How does he get that knock? He still is able to control the spray, gets that knock, but the counter knock is there from Jane. So T2K will make sure that they have one of the players surviving. The revival a little bit difficult considering there will be players who will try to get that frag confirmation. But meanwhile, Deathstorm, he gets that knock on to XMPL. T2K losing players one after the other. The revival is being attempted. Jane whiffing a lot of his shot. What? And Deathstorm seemed to care no man. He does not seem to care about it. He just still went in, took the cover of the tree and is trying to toss a nade. Jane just missed the opportunity of a lifetime. He could have entirely put Team KS under a lot of pressure.
Well, Team KS with this pressure is gonna find it hard to go forward, but then again, it is gonna be three men on both the sides of the game. Raw Esports still surviving with one single player is gonna have to make sure that placement points is something that they can focus on. Same can be said for Leo Esports. Until it comes to the last fight, they shouldn't be participating. But yeah, T2K right now is gonna be able to recover the last player as well, and that puts them back to 4.
Jane still trying to take down Deathstorm. He knows that that guy is present over here, and because King of Spades have already allowed the revivals to come in, Deathstorm will be put in a lot of trouble. He's dead. Yeah, he's dead. There's no way KS can provide with any sort of cover fire for him. Literally 1 HP is what he has, and this nade should do it. XMPL should be able to get that knock. That's exactly what happened. And King of Space will be left with just 2. Mamba and Faisal. Even Faisal, I think, has been spotted down. Love will get that confirmation with another nade to his name. XMPL takes a little bit of damage out of himself, but has been able to toss a few nades. Now Faisal burning out, gets taken down, and it's all down to Mamba to show what King of Spades have. But I don't think so they have much. And the best thing about this entire fight, T2K have already won it. Because the remaining 2 players are under the bunkers, and there's only one exit that is possible out of this bunker that will be washed out by the players of T2K. So this game is done, and that's a chicken for the players of Team T2K.
Definitely seems so. Definitely seems so. With the nades in hand, I think Raw Esports will be able to take care of Leo as well. Novax literally walks right into the nade, but somehow still walks out on right time. But yeah, this is done for. We're just waiting to see the undeniable happen in action. But yeah, as you said, the results are already announced.
T2K also know about that these last 2 players are under the bunker, so they cannot do much about it. He gets 1 knock with the nade, but Yetauta will finally give that frag. And now the push comes in from T2K, but like Yetauta will make sure it does not die to the players of T2K. He just gives his life to the zone, and T2K, well, they get a winner chicken dinner.
Beautifully done by the team, and with this winner chicken dinner, T2K will find themselves in a much better position. Still not the best yet, but a good enough one to survive on. They are going to be having for themselves quite a lot of pleasure. 10 placement points, 8 elimination points, 18 in total, and 8 overall rank.
Make it clap.
A new new 1.6 by 1.6 kilometer map is coming to PUBG Mobile version 2.7. In this map, there are several energy zones where you can receive random attribute boosts, such as increased speed and health recovery. At the same time, lots of supplies spawn in the area. Be sure to grab them while you can. After finding all the supplies in an area, you should keep moving to find more supplies. The fastest way to move about is through portals. Go through one to teleport to the other side somewhere else on the map. After exploring an area, it's best to teleport somewhere far. However, it's important to note that there's a cooldown after use, so it can't be used too frequently. If you want to travel across mid-distances, be sure to take note of the updrafts on the map. Get close to an updraft to get lifted into the air. After reaching a certain height, you'll descend back to the ground. During your descent, you can freely adjust your direction to head to your destination. This transportation method is very handy for escaping dangerous situations. Another thing you have to watch out for are the volcanoes on the map. The lava erupting from these volcanoes can cause damage within a certain range. Be sure not to step on the lava, otherwise you'll keep taking damage and lose health. After arriving at a new area, be sure to search for exclusive crates. Approach them to get exclusive themed supplies. Apart from exclusive crates, timed airdrops are also a great way to get supplies, so make sure to keep an eye out for the countdown timer on the minimap. It indicates when an airdrop is about to appear. After the countdown ends, a crate with amazing supplies will rise from the ground. When this happens, there will surely be many enemies vying for the crate, so make sure to lie in wait beforehand and evacuate quickly after grabbing the supplies. If you get injured when going for the supplies, go to the recovery point indicated on the map. You'll be able to heal there. Just run into it to fully restore your health and armor in an instant, just like with teleporting. The recovery point has a cooldown after using it. It can't be used again until the cooldown ends. If the battle gets too intense and you find your teammates eliminated, you can bring them back within a limited time at the towers located on the map. The towers also have cooldown after being used. Each player can only be brought back by a teammate once. Players that have been brought back will directly respawn near the tower that was used without having to jump back to the battleground. Hurry and join your friends in the fight for victory.
Alright guys, welcome back after a little short break. We are back with first of all some statistics and then another game of PUBG Mobile. It was a very close game. Should I say that or should I not? Because I think T2K just won it one side.
I mean, it was close between T2K and King of Spades for a while, but then T2K, once they were able to deal with King of Spades, nothing was left for them to do.
Yep.
All they had to do was wait and watch, and that's exactly what even we had to do, because none of the teams were trying to come back out of the bunker.
Yeah, I mean T2K were a little bit lucky, I'd say, because they just found the best possible timing to take that fight against King of Spades. Even though there were four teams remaining, but it was really that fight between KS and T2K which led to the final result. And I'm surprised to see King of Spades did not realize that fact. So when they got the 2 knocks, I thought they'll just push in, they'll just get the frags, and then they'll know that the last players are under the bunker. They did not realize this fact, and that's why they will be eliminated on what I think the 5th spot. But overall, a great attempt by them. The MVP of the game is going to be a player from Raw Esports though, because he got 7 frags. I think this is the entire number of team T2K's frag, which Malik just got for himself. That's a good number. I mean, Malik definitely played good in the game.
Absolutely did, with 775 damage, 7 eliminations, looking good enough. Does not have many assists this time. But yeah, I mean, he did the heavy lifting that he had to. But well, let's take a look at who else was able to contribute into this particular match. And I think we are going to be finding players from HVDC, we do. But there's none from either your or my team, because both of them got taken out way too quickly. Like, I did not expect this today.
That was a forced fight, I'd say. Stalwart Esports literally forced that fight with the players of Team 4MV. I think they knew that this is the team we have to target or maybe figure out and probably take them down as soon as possible. But yeah, man, the previous game was all 4MV. This time around it's all Raw Esports. And again, on the beginning of the day, I talked about this team. I told you, Anna, that this is a team that is really looking good, and once again they perform. They do not get the chicken dinner, but they still get good number of points. And I think in the overall rankings as well of this particular match, they will be on the first position irrespective of even if they got that chicken or not.
Exactly, and everywhere followed by right after Malik was XMPL, except for the healing. He was able to be second in eliminations, damage, as well as assists. But yeah, same exact points for both the teams, but there's more eliminations for Raw Esports, so they're gonna be on top, and T2K is gonna be on the second position as of now. But yeah, everyone else is on single point numbers. Yeah, it seems like 4M we definitely had only 4 points. I think they're trying to stick to the name. But yeah, ASL again with zero bad intentions with zero. This is not something that we want to see going forward. These teams really need to pick back up
Yep.
now because if they don't, it's not going to work out well.
Yeah, this is looking really. I mean, I particularly say Seal. I thought Seal Esports would perform good today, but the way that they've been playing, leaving two players out in the open, the other two just holding compounds, maybe just hoping that these players will fall back in time and they'll play as a team. All those things have just not gone into their way, and that's the reason that they've been losing some players and just got one point overall. So it's okay. I mean, I just prefer a good performance from this particular team overall in the next few games. That's what I want. So yeah, now the game of Sanhok, 70% luck.
Yes.
4MB will not be playing this one, so Stalwart Esports have to be the one who will maybe try to get some points for themselves on the board. That's at least what we can hope for. And let's see what happens, because this map can literally go anywhere. The zone, whichever team has the zone, whichever team has the luck of that particular zone, will just win it out.
Absolutely, and we'll find out which team is gonna have that luck factor going in their favor today, because this is gonna be one of the maps that can close things for the side of Stalwart Esports, and also I think for SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. Both of these teams are very close enough to where 4MV is, and they would want to swap things around because 4MV beat SKYLIGHTZ Gaming obviously, and now Stalwart would want to do the same.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll find out.
I mean, it'll be a close game. Sanhok, that's what I
Yes.
can say. There'll be a team. If it's someone who's not in top 5, if there's a team who wins it out, who's someone in not top 5, so they'll get what, 7-8 frags overall, and they'll just survive with all the 4 players to get the chicken. That has been something that I'm seeing very consistently, especially from the Nepali team. So they play very passive in the very first, very early zones. They try to get all their 4 players surviving. They try to get themselves in the final zone and then fight it out, which is not bad at all. I mean, Sanhok has to be played in a way where you get uh, those position points first, rather than try to take those fights, because you know that how much you try, you lose a player. It could be from the opponent team whom you're fighting with. He'll just switch to a shotgun and get the knock player out instantly. It could be from a third party. You'll be feeling secure. Oh wow, we just got one knock and we're able to eliminate the entire team in front of us. But then there'll be a guy sitting very far away with say a mini 14. He'll just tap you out and just take you out instantly, and you'll be like, come on, I cannot deal with that though. That's just completely irrelevant to the fight we had. But these are some things that happens on this map, so you really
Also the
cannot blame the
snakes.
other teams for playing so passive.
Exactly, and also the snakes just pop out of anywhere at all, and they would actually pick off a couple of your players for no reason at all, and just walk right after that. But yeah, as you said, I think position points are going to be something that the teams should focus on here. And alongside that, if they are able to secure a good number of frags, that's going to be an added benefit. But definitely trying to initiate fights on their own shouldn't be something that teams try to do. And on this particular map, I don't even think there should be teams trying to do third parties or anything either,
Okay.
because it's never just a third party.
Yeah, that's exactly true. I mean, it can be a third party if done within 4 minutes. If done within 4 minutes, I mean, that's the
First 4
golden
minutes
time
of
you
the
need
game,
to
yeah.
take into consideration. If done within 4 minutes, you will have a pure 4v4 fight without any third party. Considering you do not drop in a very hot drop area, you drop in boot camp and then say, bro, this 4 minute rule does not. It won't work there, because there'll be a lot of team dropping around you. But if you drop in a small area, like the small little compound that teams usually like to loot in, if you drop there, if you there try to take those fights, then that 4 minute rule will apply. You can take the 4 minutes, jump in, take the fight, get 4 frags, and be sure that the third party will not happen. But then also you'll have to make sure that you do not lose a player in that fight. You'll have to be very coordinated throughout in that 4v4. So all these things will be taken into consideration. And yeah, let's just jump right into action. Let's see how all these players, all these teams are willing to play the map of Sanhok for the last and the final time for today.
Well, we'll find out. It seems like SKYLIGHTZ Gaming players are already sleepy. I saw a yawn in there. But let's see. Let's see. There we have it. All the way from around Cave, the plane path is going towards slight east of Hathin.
It does not even matter, but this is the best possible plane path.
Yeah.
on Sanhok. I mean, it's a really central plane path. You should not have a lot of trouble or issue dropping in to literally any point overall. and you should be good to go. Basically, is what I mean to say. So easy drop coming in for all of these players, all of these teams. Let's see if we do see early battle happening around somewhere or not. That because that's what I'm excited to see. Mabetex, BIDX, CMF. Well, these are not the two teams we'll be looking forward to. DRS might very well be close to BIDX, CMF. So that's something we'll have to take into consideration. Stalwart dropping in boot camp. Now that's a bold drop, but they'll find themselves completely empty boot camp. So that'll be really good for them. Good loot early on. STFL towards the eastern part. Lakavi, Kampong is where they go. Should find good loot in these two cities. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming also just fanning themselves out around Bhan, the area which you usually spawn. So all these players have entirely covered the map. No drop clashes as such. But let's see if any team bumps into one of these players who's trying to loot for themselves. And okay, never mind. We already see a drop clash happening over here between I8 and NBeSports.
Well, we do see this every single time. Like we've been seeing this from seasons and seasons. I8 and NB Sports do love to come here and initiate their early fights, and generally it's I8 who does not make it out alive. This time, let's see if it's gonna be the same exact history, or if I8 is gonna be able to go ahead and capitalize on the area. One thing I do not like about Paradise Resort is it's very low on healings most of the times. There's very few medkits that people are able to acquire from here, but this time I feel like the resort has upgraded their medical policies.
Yeah, they do seem to have good number of medics. But IAW is a good thing that they do. They just loot the extremities of this city, and not city. What do we even call Paradise Resort? It's just a resort then, I think.
Resort, yeah.
Yeah, so they just loot the extremities of the resort, and then they just fall back. So IAW will also get a little bit of taste what the city has to, what that resort has to offer, and then also making sure that they're inside the zone. Probably early rotation is what they prefer. But this sort of a zone now puts a lot of questions into all of these teams' mind. Which island do you choose?
Which
Do you go
island? Yep.
towards Camp Alpha? Do you go towards Ruins, or do you stay on the main island? And especially for the teams on the extremities, this decision even gets tougher, because tell BIT right now that it is the main island. They will just take the docks rotation. But the problem
True.
is you wouldn't know that. So essentially, you will be drawn towards the center, and then where that sort of a tri island sort of a thing is there, that's where you try to use the bridges, maybe swim your way across and lose players. So now it's a very big question. Although the first zone shouldn't be the exact time to answer this, but I'm sure the second, third, fourth zone, all of these zones will have the three islands inside itself, and suddenly there'll be one of the zones which is like, nah, come Cam Alpha, just come towards Cam Alpha, or you'll be dead. So that is something what I'm looking forward to.
Well, let's see. We are all going to be looking forward to all the entertainment that can be provided on the map of Sanhok. But in the meanwhile, let's take a look at where the teams are going to be as of now. I can see a big area being under the control of SCRFL. All the way from south of Lakavi, they are moving in towards IHC. I'm seeing T2K being completely scattered around Paradise Resort, near Mongnai, and they are also going to be having a lot of leisurely loot for themselves. Same can be said about King of Spades and about Raw Esports as well. But this time, Circle is going to be something that they have to prioritize, and also the one who's going to be able to predict the circle best is going to be able to do this.
Painan. Painan is a city where Seal is right now. And that's a really good area to drop in, because usually 4MV is the one that like to drop around Painan. But you did your homework, you knew that 4MV is not playing this game, so the city will be empty for taking, and that's what they do. The problem is though, I'm not sure how the teams have not been able to still figure it out. So if a team drops in Painan, there's a very big hill that they'll have to cross if they want to get inside the main island, and then a very big open area if they go towards Camp Alpha Island. So how do you exploit that, especially for the teams, especially for the teams dropping around these regions? I have not seen that exploitation coming in. I have not seen the punishment coming in, or the punishment being shown towards the team dropping in Painan. Could be majorly because you do not want to fight 4MB very early on. Could be a reason. But right now, Seal being one of the team, they're also being given free way to get inside the zone.
Might very well be. Let's see how this turns out to be. As of now, it seems like there's gonna be some open area near the Venom which Leo can try and contest. But as of now, it seems like every single team is sticking to the exact drop location that they went for. They're trying to stay on the same island, not rotate much just yet. But that's the thing. The more the circle contracts, the harder it will become to be able to rotate. As of now, there's still no space that has been acquired by STRFL inside the circle, and T2K is taking zone damage for no reason. I mean, it's been a while. It's about time they should have acquired all the loot that they wanted and started moving in. They had a huge area to their disposal. They still seem to be waiting around.
Yep. NBeSports though. Against IAW, this could be an interesting battle to say the least. Because if they take it, IAW are already snakes plus look at Domain's position very far away. Even Vadu is not in this battle. They will try to join in as soon as NB Sports even get a single knock onto any of these I8 players. NB Sports will have that big advantage, and all these hilly areas once again will attract a lot of eyes upon you. Even if you fire a single bullet, you better be careful, otherwise you'll be in a lot of trouble.
Well, trouble is something that a lot of teams are looking at right now. Specifically, take a look at the to take a look at the southern island. It seems to be so highly populated. I can already spot about six teams on it, and again, considering that rotations are going to be difficult going forward, once the island starts to contract, it's going to be difficult. The northern island, however, is going to be super easy to hold on to for a while, because Raw Esports and ASL are the only two teams that sustain there. And probably we might see King of Spades trying to rotate it, but so far it does not seem that way.
Hmm. Circle is also finally closing in, and this time we have a good shift. So it has given you an idea that it is a possibility that the circle could go towards ruins, but still has all three islands in it. So you can still keep guessing where the next circle is going to be, but you'll have to wait to figure that one out. Most of the teams have already rotated towards that spot, but I still strongly think that there'll be a shift which will end up towards boot camp, and all these teams will be just stuck like, what just happened? How do we cross back up? Because okay, the STFL is also looking for a way to get inside the zone. They also want to get into by maybe using the bridge of Painan, by maybe using the bridge before Painan. But BIDX CMF have gone in for a very interesting rotation. They already took the Camp Charlie bridge. They're already going the main island way. On the other hand, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming have indulged into a battle with the players of Team IHC.
Well, Team IHC, let's see how well they are able to survive this, because not only SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, even NBeSports is going to be in close proximity to actually be able to acquire the third party fruit of this one. Zeol already in the crosshair of Fistboy, and soon enough they're going to be able to spot Alex as well. However, IHC being one of the teams who's completely on the ground, proning around, they might be able to cover themselves, but Zeol gets taken down so early on, making IHC on the disadvantage.
IHC came in for a third party. They were observing the game from behind, but suddenly get taken down. Unlucky for Zeol. Really unlucky for Zeol, but unlucky it'll be for all these three teams if they do not decide to move inside the zone. IHC have already evaded it, but now SKYLIGHTZ want to have a chunk at it. Meanwhile, ASL is losing quite a few players to the zone, to the players of Team King of Spades as well. Counter knock is there from Sleepy. Meanwhile, NBeSports' Fizboy gets a knock onto Alex as well. A lot of fights happening because the circle has already started to shrink. No Fear gets a nade connected onto Mondo. This is stage number 2. So as soon as the zone closes, it'll be really difficult for the revivals to come in. Akaz tagged up quite a bit. Has to pop that first aid out. But Nima has a nade. Nima can really spoil things up. Even AJ Ora can be a spoil sport in this entire battle. Takes down Mondo out of the game, but Akaz still stands.
Well, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming losing players one after the other. NBeSports also getting traded out constantly. Getting confirmation onto No Fear is going to be important to make sure that SKYLIGHTZ has as bad a game as NBeSports itself. But in the meanwhile, NBeSports will get taken down completely. Nima will be able to re-heal and invest into the fight. It does not seem like Fizboy has much grounding into this fight. It does not seem like he's going to have much time to go ahead and pick back the fallen comrade. So it's just gonna be a SKYLIGHTZ game, it seems. Wait a second. The shotgun.
Fizbo is able to do quite a bit of damage. And Nima is just trying to jiggle out. He knows the power of DBS. He knows even in this lane the DBS is very, very difficult to deal with. But finally will land shots. And Mafia Ninja pulling out a 1v3. And finally the final frag gets achieved. No fear did it way back earlier. But Mafia Ninja closing out the battle in his own favor. The problem? Hey, you're not inside the zone though.
Exactly, and you only have two players. As of now, if you ask me, it seems like this could be a game that is taken home by the players of DE Venom.
Ooh, D Venom, huh? I'd go with Stalwart.
Yep.
I know they're not inside the zone, but I think they should be easily able to get in the zone because Leo has very less number of players. Plus, Mabetex is trying to come in for the third party. Should not be a problem to deal with that because most of the teams are already on the other part of the island, so they'll fight amongst themselves. It could be either ST or IAWO, but I'd put my money on ST this time around.
Alrighty, let's see. You have been super consistent with your picks. Your team has not been super consistent with their performance,
I
though.
know. Meanwhile, STFL also get eliminated. So Seal this time are doing good job in terms of getting the frags at least. So that's a really good thing. Meanwhile, Leo now they'll be pinched in by the players of Team Mabetex. They hope to get a good spot, but now they're all alone. So even though Liquid is in a position over here, would like to see if Liquid is able to do something about it.
Well, Liquid still got three players on the team that are still able to take part into the fights. But Leo being one of the teams that really like to run their brain horses before actually picking up onto which fight to invest in. I don't think they're gonna go aggressive at all. Talking about the position onto Seal, it seems like they're going to be able to find themselves a very clear entry into the circle. However, IAWO won't be doing the same. If they go through the bridge, they're going to have to face Mabetex. If they go through the compounds area, they will have to deal with Seal. So let's see how IAWO manages themselves. But in the meanwhile, IHC getting picked up by the
Easy.
players of the Venom. That's beautifully done.
Yeah, easily done for that particular team. Meanwhile, Wally he is still going on. Gets that frag confirmation. I think even Nova will fall in the process. And Mabetex, they are looking strong. Look at the control that they have. If just they're able to find Liquid, that will do the job for them. If Liquid falls, that's it for Leo. But then the control for Mabetex will be huge to work with. So that is something I'm looking forward to. Let's see how does Mabetex go about that. On the other hand, do we see some more fights? SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, even though they have 4 frags to their name, but have lost towards their players. Scooby gets that knock onto Delta. Killer gets a counter knock and is able to eliminate Fearless entirely. So DRS versus Seal, this is an interesting fight to see now.
Well, the fight sure looks interesting. But DRS, with one player already taken down, one already on the ground, it seems like they're gonna have quite some difficulty fighting off against Seal. But then once the revival comes in, they can get back on their knees. Oh no!
Flank.
Rules gets taken down as well. Now it's done for. The flank came in very well from the side of Seal.
Now let's see though. Seal Scooby just pushing in, has a shotgun. And Scooby, oh, he takes an off angle. Now I don't think so DRS knows about this. Gyante, how does he counter this? Killer also being pushed upon. Scooby around the corner is getting third party, but he seems to not care. But now DEADEYES CMF can use this situation to their advantage. Let's not let the players of Team Seal reset. Kirito will be taken down by a shotgun from Knight. And Seal, even though they were able to win that particular fight, they will lose the entire battle.
Well, losing the war is something that shouldn't have happened. Every single battle is mounting up to it. But well, as of now, it seems like T2K and Mabetex are gonna be in a face off against each other. And this one does not feel like it's gonna be going in the favor of T2K. Center of the zone all to the hands of Mabetex, and the amount of area control they have acquired this time, beautiful.
Oh, meanwhile, XMPL also tosses a good
The
nade.
moment.
But yeah, that won't be enough because Leo tosses one back and is able to easily eliminate the squad in front of him. Now, Mabetex, let's see. Giro, Desert, these are the only two players surviving. Leo, does he get the revival is a question. They have the center of the zone, so the revival should not be a problem. Plus, the area around them is super empty too. Most of these fights are on the extremities, so let's see. I mean, Mabetex really have a good game on their hands. King of Spades, on the other hand, get eliminated. Venom, they were the ones who were able to take the final frag. And SKYLIGHTZ, meanwhile, if you look at the northern part, are trying to rotate through water. So that's another team that we have to keep an eye out for.
Well, there are a lot of teams that can actually change the results right now, but none of them are gonna be able to make as much impact on the leaderboard as Stalwart Esports will. Let's see if Stalwart Esports will be the one taking this victory home, or if SKYLIGHTZ Gaming is gonna be able to challenge them, because that seems to be an inevitable fight about to begin. And the circle again favors Mabetex.
That's a really good circle for Mabetex. I just want them to convert this game from here on because I've seen a lot of teams getting the circles continuously for themselves but not being able to convert it. So that's one of the things I want to see Mabetex doing in a better way. Meanwhile, for the very first time, I see Stalwart Esports survive for this long and not having any frag to their name. They will move inside the zone from the northern part, so that should not be a problem for Stalwart. The only problem is Leo Liquid's position. Now, do they know about it? That's the biggest question over here. Yeah, I think they really do. They get that frag confirmation too. So that elimination happens over there, and then finally gets that confirmation. Meanwhile, Mabetex versus Roy Sport. Sky, he went in a little bit over aggressive, wanted to get that frag, but will be shut down instantly.
Well, this shutdown definitely is not looking good, but wait a second.
Huh?
Icy gets naded on by himself. Wow. Didn't expect this from Stalwart. Who are you, King of Spades?
Don't know what just happened, but IAWO came in with a little bit of a helping hand, I'd say. They knocked out Leo, who was trying to maybe cook a nade and throw it onto IC, and counter nades being thrown in from Stalwart. He's supposed to make sure that Mabetex do not have that advantage over here. Why did Mabetex leave the compound? What made them so worryful, or what made them leave this entire compound that they had for themselves? They just should fall back right now. They have a really good compound. If not a compound, it's double buildings, but it's good enough for you right now. You should just fall back to it and have cover around it, play around that particular area. And that's what they do. They just fall back from this particular area. Stalwart, though, slowly and steadily moving in. SKYLIGHTZ is going to be the next team I think that they'll have to take care about. Or probably Action will have to take care about, because they are the ones creeping in from the right hand side, and already Action has spotted out all the smokes that have been thrown in from SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. Meanwhile, Nirzad is all out in the open. Nima will definitely spot him down, but then instantly prones out. Oh, Nima spotted. Nima has been spotted, and the knock is there for Nirzad. Just saw a little pixel out of place, and Nirzad is able to punish it out.
Well, with this punishment, Nirzad has definitely acquired a better position for the side of Stalwart Esports. But now going forward is gonna be one big question, because even though Stalwart has all four players trying to enter, will call for a battle against Mabetex Esports as well, who for now attain the best position inside the circle. Moving forward, DE Venom will also have to be careful of the players of Raw Esports. Same can be said for Bad Intentions, and just when I was saying that, Mabetex goes ahead, takes one down from the side of DE Venom.
Ooh, meanwhile, Krita gets taken down by Knight. That's a nade that will fall. Roy Sport, on the other hand, get that frag onto the last remaining player as well. So one by one, all these players are falling down. Viper gets a knockout to Jax. DEADEYES CMF had a good position, but I've already started losing players towards the end circle. Now the revival is also going to be very, very difficult. I mean, even if you're able to revive, that guy has to just run with his hands completely open towards the zone if he wants to make it through. Plus, IAWO are already shooting on you, so it's not going to be easy at all. One by one, the players of Team DEADEYES CMF might fall. Stalwart, though, slowly and steadily creeping in. Knight, he also falls. RX Jackson already been taken care of, so it all falls down to Dante, who we can already see has been spotted down. IAWO in this fight. Wadu with a S12K from so far away trying to connect that shot. Won't happen, and Stalwart One by one will pick apart the players of Team IAWO and get those frag points for themselves.
Well, with top 5 teams on board, we have come down to IAWO, Stalwart Esports, Mabetex, Raw Officials, and DE Venom. Most teams still having good enough numbers for themselves, but Mabetex will start dropping like dominoes. There they go.
IAW Wolfes has a good, I'd say, a place, not just a compound. It's just a shack, a big shack to say the least. Giro spotted down. IC will try to steal that flag away from the player of Raw Esports is what he'll try. He is behind a little bit of a cover, but he'll still secure the frag. Now Nirzad is very low on HP. Heals himself back up, but this fight against the Venom will not be easy. It's a very long range battle. Wolfes is the one you'll have to take care about in this close range area. Now he is the one who will try to get some frags, gets one knock. The second one, the shotguns are out, pre-firing around the corner. Action wants to take the frag. He gets another knock, Wolfes. The molly will connect though. And the molly will eliminate Wolfes in the process. The revival also is the problem. Does Team Raw give them enough time to get the revival out? That's the biggest question. I don't think so. They have vehicles. So it should be easy capitalization for the players of Team Stalwart Esports. They should be able to get the revivals back into action. And let's see how do they play against the players, against the remaining two teams, I'd say.
Well, from here going forward is going to be slightly difficult for DE Venom and for Raw Esports. Both have spots, and in the meanwhile, DE Venom also has a knocked player. So that's gonna be slightly difficult. Stalwart Esports looking good, looking promising. One map that did not seem like might go their way. They might be able to close this off and take some lead. But wait a second, Nirzad gets knocked, so does Action. Now the things are changing their complete outlook. Venom DE in a 1v2 should be aware that this is the time to march in. There's no other opportunity to wait for.
Oh, that's a good nade. If he's able to land it out, he gets the chicken. Does he land it though is the question. No, he does not. IC just escapes it. And the revivals are coming in from behind. So Stalwart will be able to get it back to 3-man. But Riley connects a nade onto IC. Tops. His position is also known. Another nade tossed. But this won't take Tops down. Nirzad has a nade in his hand. Tops brings Riley down to very little HP. But the nade overshoots. Nirzad in a 1v1. Does he push? Does he hold? The zone will do damage. Forced to fight. The DBS is out. Can he pull off a 1v3? Nirzad in a 1v1. He's confirming the frags first of all. Does Nirzad get the final frag? A nade in his hand. The push comes in. But the DBS comes out on top. The DBS comes out on top and Stalwart. They're not able to convert the game. DE Venom are the team that gets the chicken over here.
Four. Okay, 4. Good job. DE Venom with a great victory for themselves. 9 elimination points and 19 total points, placing themselves onto the 12th overall rank. Beautifully played, very well executed. And I mean, that last fight did get pretty intense, but well executed. The team deserves the victory. You call it lucky, but I feel like there was a lot of pressure that they had to deal with in that last battle.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the nades were very good for Riley. The way he plays them, the way he was able to continuously get those knocks. And for a second, I thought the revival was there and IC did not go down. I thought that Stalwart, knowing that it's a 1v3, they'll just pounce on him.
Yeah.
They'll just go together. But for some reason, they wanted to nade him out. One of the nade connects, but brings him down to very little HP. That did not help him, to get completely taken out of the game. But then giving them 1v1s is what should have been avoided, but Stalwarts are not able to avoid it, and easily done for DE Venom.
Exactly, and I mean, good guess. You were very close. But best
It's okay
guess
though.
I won.
I'm used to this. Teams throwing, teams just like chicken. Nah, we don't want it. Leave it. I'm now used to it, so I really don't. It does not matter to me. They got close, but Stalwart Esports, at least they're able to make the most out of a game where 4MB was sitting out. Chicken would have been the best possible thing. 4 extra points could have been added overall in the tally. That's not the case. But Riley, man, the way that this guy played, Venom DE, he is the only one who helps his team to get the entire chicken.
Absolutely, 6 eliminations by the dude, and with 970 damage, he did most of the heavy lifting. It's 2/3 of the total kills that the Venom was able to acquire. So yeah, very well done. And Nized as well is up top here with 3 frags for himself. Raw officials again showing up pretty well with 5 of their own, 3 from one player and 2 from the other. Beautiful game. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming AJ, a lot of assists from this guy. I didn't even see the name pop up much.
That's why he had assists. Some player of SKYLIGHTZ was able to get all the knocks though, all the frags. I think it was Mafia Ninja who had a good number of frags for his team. So, well, that's about it though. If we talk about the match ranking this time around, let's have a look at who got the most points. It's Venom. So they had 9 eliminations as well. So that's also
Yep.
good. Raw Esports, another consistent game, Anna. 13 points from this one.
True. Raw Esports definitely is delivering consistent game. They are the NBeSports of second week, and they are delivering pretty well. But yeah, I mean, I'm impressed by the kind of points our top 3 teams have, and considering that, I don't think there was much left for the remaining teams to go forward with. But yeah, looking at the overall for this particular week, there is gonna be a difference of about 43 now between 4MV and STE.
Yeah, but the good thing for Raw is like 11 points is the overall difference that the
Yeah.
both teams have. So Raw Esports definitely showing consistency. They've been very good throughout, and I've loved the way that they've performed through. Now, if we talk about the other teams, T2K is still struggling a little bit. They do have the chicken, but not making the most out of it. IHC, another team, look at that, 2 chicken dinners, but still on the 16th spot. Now, that is something you do not expect from a team who gets 2 chickens.
Absolutely, but if you take a look at the league overall, you'll be even more surprised because IHC I think has 3 in league overall and still is fluttering down way too low. But yeah, Stalwart still maintains the first position with only 2 points. 2 points that can be toppled
Wow.
anytime.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, 4MV, they've really made a comeback overall. Raw
Raw
is also
though.
climbing on
Yep.
3rd spot, 275. This is how consistency helps you guys. This is, if you're consistent, you'll be able to achieve what Raw is able to do. With only 2 chicken dinners, they're able to climb all the way up to the 3rd spot. The other teams, my god, STFL has 4 chickens and still on the 15th spot.
Exactly, and even
That's-
IHC with 3 chickens on 18th.
Now, these are some of the teams that really need to show up. And top 16, the difference is looking really clear. I mean, Bad Intention, IHC, ASL, JMEX, right now the difference is more than 30 points. So basically, I'd say top 16s are almost confirmed. This is how the entire week goes.
Exactly. I mean, the last 4 teams have not even hit 100 elimination
Yeah.
points. It's already been more than 25 actually. Almost 25 games for every single team in the first week is itself. And still, if you're not hitting like 100 elimination points, it's pretty sad, to be honest. And I mean, if you take a look at the elimination leaders, Fritz, you will notice that someone is about to hit 100 overall as well. Because in 2 weeks, look at that, 67. Huge numbers for the man.
But the good thing is Apex is now back in the race. So
Back,
earlier
yes.
it was like what 9 or 10 point lead for No Fear. But that has been reduced to just 6 by Apex. So one good day for 4MV and they just come back in every other chart. Now we used to
Yep.
see 3 4MV players. It has been brought down to just 2. But I think it's well and good because only one of you will get the $1,000 for the MVP. No Fear and Apex are the top contenders for now.
Absolutely. But yeah, taking a look at the day's summary. First match, correct prediction, and then first match not correct prediction. Third match correct prediction, and then fifth match correct prediction. That's how the day went.
Yeah, and even if you look at the damage in the third map, it was 3,500. So that's a huge number to achieve overall because it takes what 150 or 200 damage onto one single player with a good amount of vest. So 4MV did a great job in that match. They were just literally
True.
ruling. They had a really good spot in the zone. Easy frags for them overall, and they made a comeback. Now tomorrow is definitely going to be a little bit more interesting, considering that 4MV, if they just continue with the same performance, with the same form, they will be a team to look out for because they definitely have made a comeback. 2 points or 3 points is what the difference was against Stalwart Esports in the overall ranking. but still they'll have to cover a lot up in the weekly stages. So that's where I'm hoping to see an improvement for 4MV as well. But let's see. Tomorrow 4 games are going to be really important for both these teams.
Yes, absolutely. But well, we'll see what happens tomorrow itself. But today was a great day. I mean, I am pretty happy to see the way the teams have been coming back in. Aside from the whole 4MV, ruckus that happened, they have been doing great, and I'm pretty happy for that. But yeah, even Stalwart did not fall behind. In overall, they still maintained a 2-point lead towards the end of the day. Raw Esports, I'm loving the consistency this team is bringing in. I'm still expecting to see a similar performance as Raw Esports from the side of King of Spades as well, because they were doing good, they were consistent, but suddenly it seems like there's a dip. Similar thing can be said for HVDC, again a team that I have high expectations from. And Leo, even though their brain game is great, I want the rest of the things to be topping as well.
Yeah, that's true. But well, we had a lot of fun today, guys. But we'll see you tomorrow with some more games with these teams once again to perform on the final day of the week. Till then, take care. Bye bye. See you tomorrow exactly at 5 IST.